Hello, 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 hello.
What's going on, Mason?
Yo, 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 yo.
Yo, yo, yo. Ah, Did you get a haircut, Mason?
Yeah, man, I had to.
You usually don't get tapers. This is the first time I've seen you with a taper.
The mid fade, come on, man. Give me some respect.
Dang, bro.
Two of my roommates are like, bro, just ask for the mid fade. I'm like, bro, I'm gonna show up and be like, yo, let me get the medium. I'm like, what?
I
Don't
was,
say anything here. I'm like,
oh,
what?
I only know the low taper fade from the memes.
Yeah, dude. I always tell like I never used to be very loyal to like my barbers. I was just one of those people that like always wore a hat or whatever, so I just never really like grew loyalty to one person that cut my hair all the time. But since I've moved into this new place, there's like a barber like right down the road. So he's like the guy that I always see all the time now. So it's like I finally understand why you can like you should have a barber because
hmm.
like every time I get a haircut, it looks different every time. Then someone's just like, huh, that's new for you. And I was like, okay. I've never really cared about it, but that's why I try to keep it short because my hair gets like really, really like curly.
Yeah.
It's long.
Keep this one, Mason. You actually look dangerous for once.
Just saying that because I look like you.
Well, I used to have tapers. I don't have tapers anymore.
All right,
So
hold on. Wait. Look at the tape. Hold on. There we go.
hey, no, you just need a tan now. That's it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm too white for that.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
Yeah, that's a Zoom tan job right there. How you guys doing?
All right.
Good.
Cool. Well, I guess we can go get started, guys. So let's see. I think Robin, we've got you first as usual. So yeah, man. Did you get a chance to like listen to my voice notes and everything recently? Um,
Let's see. The ones from like today, this morning.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
so I think I got through everyone. Unless there was other ones. I let me see. Shoot Mason. Did I miss anything? Yeah, I think I got through everything. I
cool.
haven't had the chance to go through everything. I think it looks like did you add me? Yes, you added me to the free to fee method stuff. So I need to go through all that tomorrow. Just been busy with like applications and peer support stuff today. But yeah, definitely gonna. I had a bunch of stuff scheduled for tomorrow to go see some wedding venues. But I'm gonna have to cancel those because my van is in the shop and I'm gonna need a new transmission. And so
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay. Well, can't help you with the transmission. But is there anything else that we could do or anything else again, I know we went over a lot of stuff. Is there anything in particular that you want to go over today?
I guess just maybe this is stuff that's gonna will be going over in the when I dive into the content. I'm just curious. I think you answered this a little bit, but I guess the one thing that was still in my mind is like I think you said that it's a lot easier. The example you gave was to like get clients for a painter than it is to run ads to attract painters. And I'm wondering if you just have any like information like why that is.
Yeah. I can chime in. Would it be beneficial to maybe let the other guys talk and kind of just like hear their experience? Would that be
Yeah,
better?
sure.
Okay, cool. So we got Righteous. Amon is not here yet, so maybe Amon will come in here in a few minutes. I guess Righteous, can you so with Robin we're pivoting. We've tried paid ads to, get leads and close deals, and then based off of like just my interaction with them, suggesting okay, just do the free to fee. I think it's gonna be a much better route for you. Can you maybe like speak on like your experience? Obviously, you've done the six figure 6 weeks. You were, generating leads and doing discovery sales calls, and then you did this, and I think you've got two closes. Can you maybe like just kind of speak on your experience? Like, do you feel like this is easier? Do you feel like it's harder? What are the pros and cons? So yeah, do you feel like it's easier? Do you feel like it's harder? If so, why easier? Why harder? And then two pros and cons of this versus paid ads.
Yeah, those is really great questions. I feel like it's easier in terms of getting on sales calls. I would say like especially if you can get the leads, if you can get the lead generation problem solved, then booking a sales call wouldn't be a problem. I would say pros and cons is the cost. Like the cost could be high just depending on which location you're in, versus like the 6 figure 6 weeks is dialed into a T. Like you just follow that and you're good to go. So here you just got to be a little more on the free to fee side. You just got to be a little more creative as far as like
Why do you
and
feel like it's easier to book sales calls? Why do you feel like it's easier to book sales calls, and why do you think the sales calls are a lot easier here?
yes, so it's easier to book sales calls in terms of I feel like you build up the belief um when you get the leads over to them, so they realize that it's real, so you have more leverage on the free to fee side because it's like I've got hot leads right here, and if you don't want them, I can just pass it over to a competitor type of thing. And you only have to do that. You do those 3 warm handoffs, and then you just push the sales calls to the next day.
Yep.
Uh, so it's much easier on that aspect of it. But
Uh,
yeah, like, I would say just the cost thing will be something to look out for, just depending on what location you're in.
gotcha.
How much have you spent so far, and what were the details of the two deals that you closed with it?
Yeah. So my first deal, I've spent close towards like I say $400, and I got my
Mhm.
first deal,
Okay.
and then second one was around the same, about the same, because I was almost at like $1,000, and I got my second close.
Okay.
So I'm typically seeing about,
4 to 500. And what are those? How much are those deals for?
yeah, the first one I was doing the 250. So it was just a 250 a week. It was just a trial, but now I'm doing 500 weekly. And
Five
I
hundred a
did
week. Okay.
and I was able to get 2 hook calls in the day on the 500. And they both were like, that's no problem. They're ready to rock and roll. So
Okay.
that's why like I feel like it's easier to book the sales calls a lot easier in a free to fee versus 6 figure 6 weeks.
Gotcha. And so for like the 250 or the 500 a week, so that'd be 1,000 or 2,000 a month. How much of that is going into the ad spend?
So that is what I'm still trying to figure out right now because I only had a client for about like just a week. So I haven't had anybody stay for like a month or 2 months, but so
Mhm.
far it's looking like maybe about $1,000 is going to go towards ad spend. We're
Okay.
just trying to get that cost down as much as possible.
Gotcha. And what kind of ads are you running to get these leads in? Is it like a landing page, or is it what are the ads and a website kind of make app they're using?
Actually, I can show you my screen real quick. It's
Yeah.
like a quick before and after video. And it kind of has people actually doing the actual work. So you get to see people painting and everything like that. But I'll share my screen really quick. Did I do that right?
Yep. We can see your
Okay.
screen.
All right. So right now, this is what I'm running right now. This is the interior.
Mhm.
Zoom out. But it's not really, wait. It shows the before and after of like the cabinet painting.
Mhm.
That's 10 seconds long, but that's all I'm showing for the cabinet painting, and it's a form. So I'm not sending anybody to a site and
Mhm.
then
Oh, just a lead form in Facebook. Okay, cool.
keep form in Facebook. And I can kind of show you those questions too. Here it is.
And where'd you get did you make the creative, or where did that come from?
Actually, Aman actually created this one. We kind of shared that one,
Mhm.
that creative that I showed you. And then here's the questions. that we take them through on the form.
Okay.
Yep.
Sweet, sweet.
What are your takeaways? Thank you, Righteous. What are your takeaways so far, Robin, from this? In terms of like what you've seen from Righteous, like what are maybe the key takeaways? Was he able to answer your questions? Do you
Sorry, I
feel?
thought you were talking to Righteous. Were you talking to me?
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. Completely blanked on that. Yeah, that sounds really good. Yeah, that definitely answered the questions. I'm sure a lot of this I just need to go through the material that you'll have so far. And yeah, it seems like a really interesting thing that I could do with I'm really curious to dig into like the data to figure out like what are the variables that should go into like how do you pick an area? How do you pick a niche? I think there's some really interesting things I could dig in there to try to figure out um yeah, what niches are going to work best and then how to find the area. Like I feel like population size if you like finding like the sweet spot for like okay, do bigger cities work best? Do smaller rural areas probably aren't gonna might not work the best depending on how small they are. But yeah, very interesting to think about.
Yeah. So in terms of like your core question was like, why is it so much easier to generate like sales calls using this method than sales calls using paid ads, or was it why is it so easy?
Yeah, thank you for bringing back to that. I completely was a different train of thought. Yeah, it's like why is it easier for like the targeting um of like these customers and um I'm curious to see because I get like is it gonna is it possible like the problems that I was having with the ads of like just complete like nonsense people coming in and stuff is that still a like a possible issue that could come up? Yeah.
Yeah, good question. So there's so in terms of booking sales calls with painters using this method, the free to fee method versus using running ads to book a sales call. Like, hey, if you're a painter, I guarantee you this, just click the button below, book a call with me, and then you're hopping on a discovery call, pushing it to a sales call with a painter. What's that? You're spending money on paid ads, first of all. Second, because it's coming from paid ads, you're already gonna have skeptical people. You're already gonna have to work the leads, double dial
Yeah.
them, have a conversation. It's a really tough conversation. Like whatever you got with the six figures, 6 weeks, it's way harder than that. Like the
Yeah.
call way harder than that.
I think I see where you're going with this. My how do I put this? I think I'm asking a slightly different question. How do I put this? It's like,
So you're
I'm
asking about the leads that Righteous is running to get the clients versus the ads that you're running right now for wedding filmmakers, and you're
yeah,
like, why is it different? So what I would say is, it's not necessarily different. In some way, so it depends on the ad and it depends on the structure. So you're running messenger ads. I feel
mm,
like messenger ads, you get a bunch of weirdos. Um,
mm,
but it's not necessarily that you get weirdos. It's that you get people click on the ad and they have an interaction with you versus what Righteous is, he's doing an instant form. So he's not necessarily even having an interaction with these people
yeah.
until like he follows up with them and stuff like that. In my
I don't
experience,
think you're gonna get anybody accidentally filling out a form.
you still do sometimes. What I would just say is like it just comes with the territory. Like having people that like are like, hey, I don't remember filling this out or what's this? That just comes with the territory of ads. It's just part of it. What I will say is in my experience, it's significantly less with instant form ads versus messenger ads, which
Yeah,
is
makes sense.
so if that's like a thing of like, oh, am I going to experience that again? In some ways you will, but not nearly as much.
Yeah,
Is that the primary question, or was it, or
I
did you?
think that yeah, I think I'm getting a better idea of it now. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, and so you're not concerned about like, hey, closing deals with what creators using free to fee versus
Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense.
that
Yeah,
makes
if I can be
sense.
like, yeah, it's like, hey, if I can just like offer you like a free, like couple free leads or something, and then it sounds like you do like a handoff where you like hop on a three-way call with them.
Yep.
That one seems like I'm gonna have to like bullshit my way through it to be like, here, let me make sure you can close because for everyone else, the reason we're switching is I suck at sales. So yeah, that'll be fun.
Yeah. So I want to say suck. It's very challenging. This game is very challenging. I have to be way better at sales using paid ads than anything else. It's the hardest thing you can do, honestly. It's like
Oh
freaking,
yeah.
it's like door-to-door knocking. It's hard.
Yeah.
What we're doing is very hard. Um, to answer some of your questions, so how much, so initially when we did this, and we're titrating, we're figuring this out together. So initially when Righteous closed, and they were charging $250 a week for the first 4 weeks and then $2,000 a month thereafter. And then from there, what we came to realize is, okay, is 250 a week enough? And what we realize is 250 a week is not enough. And the reason for that is because cost per acquisition is going to be about $300 to $500. That's what we came to find on the last coaching call. We did a little bit of research, kind of figured out. So, okay, so the idea is this. By the way, the deal Righteous just closed. Did I tell you the story about it or no?
Hmm.
So basically, Righteous ran ads in Columbus, Ohio, and he got like, I don't know how many leads he got. He hooked a business owner, gave that one lead over to the business owner. Business owner actually ended up closing that deal.
Hmm.
And Righteous could not get any more leads over because it was so expensive. So literally, he got one lead over to him. Business owner closed that one deal and then kept coming back to Righteous like, yo, 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 when are we working? Like, I gotta do more. And then from there, because he closed a deal, Righteous now has the upper hand. He has the leverage to say, okay, look, man, I'm extremely busy. I'm not doing these trials anymore. If you want to work with me, it's just gonna be a regular sales call. I'm not gonna do this trial for you anymore. Business owner, because he got the results, hopped on a sales call with them, and then Righteous closed him into a client. So no trial, literally just one lead, close a deal, boom. That's what ended up happening, right? So what does this mean? Basically, this goes back to like the idea of why 250 a week versus $500 a week. At 250 a week, let's say you do the trial, you get somebody 3 leads over, they do some estimates, but they haven't closed a deal yet. They're going to be sitting there wondering like, when am I going to get an ROI? So let's say week one, they pay you 250 a week. Week two rolls around, they haven't closed a deal yet. So they might not make it to week three. They might not make it to week four. So that's the problem that we're trying to solve. So the idea that I gave Righteous and Aman last week was, okay, let's instead of 250 a week, let's charge $500 a week. So before the angle was, hey, Mr. Business Owner, in order to work with me, it's $2,000 a month. But for the first month, it's $1,000 a month. And not only that, you can pay me $250 a week. We've scrapped that angle, and now the angle is, hey, Mr. Business Owner, it's $2,000 a week. But for the first 4 weeks, you don't have to worry about that.
$500 a week.
Just pay me $500 a week. So it's
Oh,
still
okay.
1,000. And so the reason we're doing that is if you're probably kind of guessing is the idea is if we can get the business owner to pay us $500 a week, we can take all 500 of that and just front that. So we don't pocket a single dime and we ensure that the business owner closes a deal.
Hmm.
Because if the business owner closes a deal within that first week, they can most likely by the end of the 4 weeks, they can do a paid in full of $5,000 to cover the first 3 months.
Okay.
And so that's the strategy I'm working on right now. So step one, Righteous hooks. Step two, he gets over 3 leads. Step three, he closed the business on $500 a week. Step four, instead of pocketing all the money, we spend all the money week one, close the deal. Week two, half and half we keep. Week three, half and half. Week four, half and half. Week five rolls around. They say, hey, Mr. Business Owner, so there you have it. It's $2,000 a month. If you want to rock and roll, keep the party going. Now, for you, what I'd like to do is I'd like to make you an offer of a prepaid for 3 months. It's $5,000. Instead of $6,000, you can pay another $3,000. That'll cover us for 3 months. So now we're collecting way more cash. And so now we can actually like survive, chill, cash heavy, and then and so 3 months with that amount of ad spend, they should close at least 1, 2, 3 more deals. I don't know how many more deals. Again, cost per acquisition about $300 to $500. Within that time frame, if we make them enough money, month 3 to 6, we can ask for another paid in full. So we're turning this thing that's $500 a week into a paid in full of $5,000, another paid in full of $5,000. That's the long-term strategy. So that's kind of what we're trying to pay now. So I hope that all makes sense. You asked that question of like how much are you pocket? It's a little bit more of a complex. It depends on the sales cycle and what we're trying to do here. So
Gotcha.
that's
And for the paid, if they do the paid in full 5,000, is that still 3,000 going to the ad spend? Because you're planning on doing 1,000 a month in ad spend.
So the idea is, so this is a little bit more of a complex question. It goes back to those 4 variables in that one video. I'm like, here, you need to hit these 4 numbers. So client needs to spend 1.5x more than your service fee. Client needs to make 2x cash collected within 30 days or whatever the formulas are.
Yeah.
But again, that's a little bit further out. I'm not super worried about that right now. But I think most likely it's whatever the business owner pays us, I'm going to try to get the guys to pocket half of that.
Okay.
So it's like if Righteous can collect $5,000 for the first 3 months, he pockets 2.5K, 2.5K goes to ad spend. Month 3 to 6 rolls around, same thing. So if we can pocket 5K from the client and the client's making the rest of the money and we can keep that rolling, Why not? So 2.5K, 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 we got a 7K client there.
Mm.
0.5K. It's not shabby. At 7.5K LTV is not too shabby. Get a few of those clients, not doing too bad.
Okay. Yeah,
And
sounds good.
in terms of the area, we're testing that stuff out as well. What I'm noticing is a huge thing is like the area makes a huge difference. So Righteous, when he was running ads in Columbus, Ohio, was extremely expensive. And then we said our theory was like, for painting, it's probably not. We're probably not going to get leads while it's still snowing and cold. Why don't we go to a warmer location? You went to a warmer location, boom, right there, gangbusters. So I think it depends on the location. It depends on the service. So is your service a thing that you can sell throughout the year? Like, I don't know, maybe like duct cleaning might be a thing throughout the year, for example. Like whether it's hot or cold, you need your duct cleaned. But I also think part of it is like certain locations are more expensive than others. So if I look at, for example, Cam, he's not here on the call right now. He and I have been trying to troubleshoot his client in Orlando. He has clients everywhere else. They're absolutely crushing it, but the one in Orlando is just like no matter what. And the reason for this is the CPM is so high. It's just so expensive. There's so many advertisers out there, right? So all these advertisers are bidding on the same leads. The leads in that Orlando location, all these advertisers are bidding on them. And so it's just very challenging there. It's a very competitive market. So my theory, what I'm kind of getting at with the guys is like, okay, step one is you target a location based off what you think would work well. And again, we need to create that criteria. I think it's niche dependent. I don't think it's like agency dependent. I think it's niche dependent. So for painters, it's going to be one thing. For HVAC, it's going to be one thing. So step one, you identify the market. Step two, you then run ads in that location to see if you're getting leads within KPI. So whatever the healthy range is for you. So for me, $2.50 to $20 per lead through the first 6 weeks is healthy. Anything above that is crazy. If it's within KPI, then you hook a business. Or if it's not within KPI, you move to another location. So that's kind of the game. So the idea is you already know if you can get results and what kind of results you can get before you even have a conversation with a business owner, which will just make sales that much easier, your conviction that much better, a lot less stress. You already kind of know what to expect. So that's that answer to your question regarding location. And then the other question you guys regarding niche. When it comes to niche, it really is like this. I'm having the guys do the same homework that you did, which is like, okay, go into the niche calculator, do this, do that, and then get back to me and let me know what you want to do. And so some of the guys, depending on their experience, I'll say, hey, pick a niche that we don't have experience in versus another guy that might not have the most experience when it comes to paid ads. I'm like, hey, do a niche that we already have selected. So for example, if somebody like Keith came to me, and he's like, hey, look, I want to do this free to fee method. Koshi, I got some experience with Google Ads, Facebook. Okay, cool, man. Well, why don't you go ahead and figure out basement waterproofing? I feel confident that you have the skills and we can work together to figure it out. Versus somebody that comes to me and said, Koshik, I've never ran paid ads in my life. Okay, in that case, you should probably do painters like Righteous, or you should do duck like Cam, or you should do, whatever like somebody else. You should just model because you don't have enough experience right now. So that's how I'm kind of using discernment to kind of help people with the niche selection. So with you, I feel like you're very technical. I feel like you're very logical. I feel like when it comes to paid ads, believe it or not, I think you're going to do superb based off just how you think. And so for you, I feel confident we can go into a brand new niche if you want to. But if you wanted, you can do painting like Righteous and Aman. You can do windows and door repair like Wilgie and Riviera, right? It just depends on what you tell me you want to do. And I'll give you my honest thoughts on like what I think you should do based off of the niche you give me.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds like a plan.
So those are the 3 questions you asked that I wrote down answers to. Do you have other questions or other things you want to go over?
I think that was the main stuff. Yeah, I think the next step I just need to dive into everything.
Okay, cool. Anything else that you want to go over? Anything else at all?
Not at the moment, I don't think.
Cool.
Yeah.
How are you feeling overall? I know we're going through a lot of ups and downs and
Oh yeah, no, today was a roller coaster. I got up, I was like feeling pretty good this morning. You have Wawa there. You know Wawa?
I'm familiar with it's like a Walmart or something.
It's like a gas station, like a slightly nicer kind of gas station that got like pretty good food there and stuff. Maybe like a miniature Buc-ee's. I don't know. I applied to a Wawa, the one that's by my house, and they got back to me today and said, "Sorry, we went with a different applicant, but we'll let you know if there's anyone that if we have new positions that are like that you might be qualified for, because apparently you weren't qualified for this one." So I'm like, "Oh, that one's just a."
Okay, screw them. We don't need them. You're okay. but I would say I feel really confident this is the move for you after the different pivots and things that we've tried. Um, and I feel confident just kind of seeing Righteous and Aman and how fast these guys are hooking and closing deals. I think it's gonna be really
Yeah,
fast. Um, so yeah, I think I'll just leave it there, man. Anything else that you wanted to go over?
that's about it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, if that's everything, I'm gonna move on to our next person, then Righteous. Okay, or Righteous, Robin.
All right. See you later. Bye.
Yep. Mr. Keith, what's going
Hello.
on? Hello, hello, hello.
So I don't really know what to talk about. I guess we could just like kind of handle the few questions I did have. Um, so I guess going back to sort of the evolving nature of the initial offer, I had seen that you guys were going for 500 instead. How is that being positioned then? Is it still like, hey, I'm going to put you on a low cost trial, 500 a week by week, and then hopefully like by the end you're getting the rest of like the like where's I guess is there any kind of like discount? I mean, up front there used to be the discount of you're paying half basically. So
Yeah.
what's the pitch now?
Yeah, so the pitch, there's still a sexiness to the pitch, right? The initial pitch was like super sexy, but it's still sexy. The initial pitch was it's 2 grand, but for the first month, I'm not gonna charge you 2 grand, it's $1,000, and on top of that, it's 250 a week, so you can really step your. Now it's just, hey, so in terms of working with, it's 2 grand a month. Now for you, I want to make sure I baby our relationship, earn your trust. So it's simply going to be $500 a week. This way, you don't have to overcommit. We can make sure we're getting you results, and then you can pay week by week. And then after that, once you feel good, well, then we can commit to the $2,000 a month. So it's still sexy. It's still if they didn't know any better, if they didn't know the initial offer,
Right.
then right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, and is that being done because the cost per lead is like way higher than we thought?
So, okay, why do you think we're doing this? If you had to
Because the
guess.
cost per lead is way higher than we thought. I mean, I
So,
wouldn't know. I haven't gotten any leads yet, except for that one fake one. But
so it is the cost per lead, but it goes deeper than that. It's that. So for me, for example, right? For me and you guys, I know there are certain KPIs, there are certain things I need to hit. I need you guys to close. I think I already went over this. 6 figure, 6 weeks. You
Mhm.
need to build. You need to close a deal from it. You need to select a niche. You need to close a deal. You need to have an idea of how to get them results and know that you need to learn more. Only when people meet that criteria do they want to continue, right?
Yeah.
That's what I have to figure out. Same thing applies here. Is if you like, I learned this from Righteous, right? Where Righteous, he hooked, he closed, and then that retention was literally 1 week.
Yeah.
And so what I realized is like, okay, we need them to close a deal within that first week. The
Oh
idea of
yeah.
close a
Okay.
deal, that's the goal. The goal is like, okay, you do a 3-day hook. They're on
Yeah.
Cloud9. They give you an opportunity. We're now kind of twisting their arm. I actually tweaked up the script with Wilgie, and if you want to, we'll check that out. I'm applying the pressure that I went over a few weeks ago. I'm like, hey, I need you to give me a yes or no by the end of the sales call. You can't like say close a deal and then get back to me. Like we're applying pressure. Anyways, I'm going off tangent here.
Yeah.
So we're kind of forcing them to pay us within the 3-4 days. But then after that, we really do need to deliver. Like if we don't deliver, they're not going to pay week 2, week 3, week 4. So
Yeah.
so for you, when it comes to like basement repair, I don't know what the cost per acquisition is going to be. And so that's something we need to take into account. If your cost per acquisition, dude, is like $1,000, I don't know, man. Maybe we need to collect $1,000 for that for the first and or I don't know if it's going to be $1,000. Maybe what we need to do is we need to set proper expectation. Be like, hey, look, it's going to be this amount, $500 per week. I expect you to close the deal within the second week, not the first week. And so we were setting proper expectation. We have to figure those kinds of things out. The key is the key thing is within everybody's a little bit different, but I think my theory is within 1-2 weeks we need them to have a close a deal, or else they will not continue.
Right. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Totally.
And if we don't do that, and by the way, the initial script that was taught to Drew by that
Mhm.
program with the free to fee, do you know what they did on the sales call? Do you know what they did?
I don't know specifically what you're referring to. I mean, I watched all of it, but
So Drew is the one that came up with like, hey, on the sales call, it's not $2,000 a month, it's $250 a week. The initial script that was taught was a 6-month paid in full option. So basically, you do a 3-day hook, and then after you do the 3-day hook on the sales call, you sell them on like a 6-month. Hey, it's 5 grand for 6 months or 10 grand, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's like the only other way to make it work, and that's extremely challenging, probably.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
So we're it's like what we're doing is we're trying to get our foot in through the door as easy as possible, but then we got to really fucking deliver.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Um, yeah, so basically, I'm back up and running. I'm just doing image ads. I went through that in my Loom. I think you watched that. Um, I'm still torn on if I want to fire up Google Ads or not. I think what I'm gonna do is just let this run for a few days. My guy that I hooked called me again or texted me on Saturday. Was like, "Hey, what happened to all the leads?" Which, I mean, the fact that he's still reaching back out to me is, I must have made some kind of impression or something. I don't know, but
what did
because
you say?
I honestly was
What did you
sorry,
say?
what?
What did you say to him this time around, by the way? I heard I
Oh,
read
what you?
understand fully what you
Yeah,
meant.
basically what you said to me, because I had already asked this, I think last week, like, hey, when I finally start getting this guy leads, like, how do I even, bridge that gap of like, I told you I had a site that's up and pulling leads right now, and then now it's been 3 weeks and you haven't gotten anything. How do I bridge that? And you said basically, because my initial thing was like, just tell them that I had a little bit more of a challenge getting going in this market. And you're like, no, 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 don't do that. Tell them that you had to focus on larger markets where you're getting paid. And that's exactly what I did. I just said I had a couple larger markets that I needed to really focus on. These people are paying customers, blah, blah, blah. And it just took a little while, but I am.
How did he take that? What happened?
He was fine. He was fine. He was like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." So, and I do have that other connection where I can get him hooked in with my big client to sell like those products and stuff, which he really wants. So I think that's a little part of it too of why he's being so cool with me. But yeah. So I mean, I'm still trying that market. We just had wicked storms come through here yesterday, like tornado warning and everything kind of deal, which is rare for Michigan. So I was just hoping that like firing up waterproofing ads the day after a major thunderstorms would pull some stuff. So and they're running. I'm just planning on letting them go for a few days before I make the determination on if I want to spin up some pretty basic Google ads and throw that at it too. Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, they go to, oh, this is pulling different sources. I've done this search and it was look, oh yeah, word streams in there.
So what are you thinking should be average? Like $30, $60?
Based on what I had seen initially when I did research, it was like 45 to 50 somewhere's in there, so which is kind of splitting that right in the middle. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm still back and forth on if this is even the right niche or not. And I mean, I've got these opportunities, but nothing's converting for me. Although, to be fair, I didn't run them a super long time yet. So I'm just gonna let them run now. I'm just gonna spend some money and see what I get. Um, at minimum, if I can throw this guy a couple few leads, I think he'll convert into something. If not, I will just start in another market. I don't know like what difference it's gonna make. Like I totally get the painting thing where it's like cold temperatures, you're not gonna paint your house. Warm temperatures, you're focusing on that. So it's like I thought maybe, spring is a good time for the basement waterproofing thing. The foundation repair thing, that's just something where somebody just gets to a point where they're like, yeah, we got to fix this or our house is going to collapse. Um, so I don't know that it's weather or location dependent so much as like an individual thing, you know?
Yeah. Is there a way for you to get plugged in with a few um business owners in that niche? Like hopping on a call with them? Is there a way for you to get plugged in, like maybe through your client who's got a massive list? Essentially, what I'm getting at is this. If you were able to have a conversation with some business owners in that particular niche, you could, and that are running ads, you can get some market data. Like, okay, hey guys, like how much are you spending? And
Yeah.
that might, because right now it's like we're like in the dark and we don't know how close we are to like hitting like the
Yeah.
goal line. It's like, is it going to be 45 bucks? Is it going to be 50? Is it 60? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Um, that's kind of where my head's at because we don't know unless you have a conversation with somebody, an agency owner that's already running ads. Like we're kind of in the dark and just yeah. And
Yeah. So I've mentioned this to my client and but I told him like I don't really want to go too far down that road until I know I have a workable system. And because I don't want to burn any leads that he could give me. If it was the type of thing that he's like, here, just go have at it, like I could have probably hundreds of business owners I could talk to. But what I was waiting for is like, can I dial this in where I'm confident enough to go to them and say, hey, let me have at it? And
what's
obviously I'm not there yet,
what's
but
it? Well, that's a different conversation, right? That's a conversation if you're trying to sell to those business owners. What I'm getting at is like you just trying to get your bearings. You're having a conversation with a few business owners just to get data to be like, hey man, like what are you doing in terms of ads?
yeah,
Your cost per lead, and you're not trying to sell those people. You're trying to speed up the process that we're in right now. Because if
right.
you have a conversation with three different business owners, they're all running ads. They say, hey, Keith, I'm spending about $45 per lead. Here's what our campaign looks like. Here's what I've learned.
Yep.
Now that helps you and I.
Yep.
This whole process of free to fee method. That's kind
Yeah,
of
I'll
what
think about that. I have to talk to them tomorrow anyway, so maybe I'll run that past him and see what he thinks.
yeah. Yeah. Just if you can
Because he
get,
can make introductions for me, and then I'm coming in. I'm not just like some random guy calling and asking for info, and then
yeah.
I'm a
I,
trusted vendor.
I
So
would, I would say just whatever you do, the filter through that conversation is like, hey, do you have business owners that are already running Facebook ads? Because I'd like to talk to them, not just random, you know,
right,
repair.
right.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much he would know that, to be honest with you, because it's like they're a supplier of a product and not a service, you know.
Yeah.
But I could ask him.
Yeah. I would try that. And then he might not know that. And if not, then he probably at least knows like the top 10, 20% spenders, 50% spenders. If he knows that, now you can filter from that. It's like, okay, well, do you think you can do an introduction to like the top 10% spenders? Because those people most likely have some kind of paid ad strategy. So from
Yeah,
there, you get a hold of the business owner. Maybe there's something you can kind of figure out from that.
yeah. Okay, it's a good call.
Um, aside from that, um, yeah, I don't know what else is brewing in your head.
Well, the other thing was the other client that I have that wanted to, they're like, hey, can we do Facebook ads? And I'm like, sure, especially using a lot of the stuff I've learned here. And that's an auto repair place. And I mean, their leads are through the roof all of a sudden. But it's $100 off like a brake repair offer. My thing that kind of frustrates me with this process is that I don't feel like I have the latitude to offer a discount because I feel like if I could even do like 10 to 20% off as an offer, I feel like I would pull stuff way faster. And I don't know if anybody else is doing like a discount. Um,
Oh, so you're asking about doing a discount for the basement repair stuff that you're
yeah,
testing?
for an offer. Yeah.
Yeah, do that. Like a lot of the guys are doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, you can
But
do
so how do you handle that with the business owner then? Because you're coming,
the business
don't
owner's
worry
not
about that.
business owner's not going to ask, the lead is not going to ask. If you look at Drew's ad, that's
Yeah.
what that is. Drew's ad says 10% off the top.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
10%. I mean, I think I already even talked to my guy and was like, hey, sometimes I offer a percentage off. And then what we just instruct you to do is you can add that on to the, you know.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll just do that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that is, I don't know, but like a lot of the ads that I see, they don't have those kind of offers. It's all straight.
Right.
So maybe that'll make it stand out a little bit. I don't know.
Maybe.
But
No.
yeah. So I'm gonna let it run. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
just now,
Yeah.
you know.
That's
I had to take my couple of weeks to get my shit in order but I'm, fully into it again. So
no, it's all good. Me and Aman are going to talk, and that's where me and Aman are right now. Like he's just like throwing shit at the wall. So you maybe kind of hear some of what me and Aman are talking about, and it'll be like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
normal.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both Righteous and Amon and stuff have been like a freaking great resource just to see what they're doing and what's working and what's not, So,
For sure.
yep.
What else? Anything else that you want to chop it up about, Keith?
No, I guess for people that are running video ads and image ads, are the video ads doing anything? Because to this point, my video ad has done nothing but my image. Well, I mean, not to say my image ads have been all that great, but they just get way more clicks, way more interactions and stuff. Hasn't converted into leads, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does
Any thoughts from anybody?
Yeah, Aman, do you want to chime in on that, or Jeremy? I know both of you guys try different things. You want to maybe chime in?
Yeah. I haven't I'm gonna start running a video ad for a client for the first time. I need that footage, as it turns out. So if you want to send me payment so I can get the footage, I don't need the iPhone, just the cinematic. As far as like for myself, I've only run video ads. So I've never run a static image. I've thought about it and talked to Koshik about it last week, but to be honest with you, I'm breaking down the first 2 weeks of March through the last 2 weeks of March as you're talking, so he can kind of examine these numbers to see what in the heck is going on, because something bottom just fell out on me. So but anyway, yeah, I for my clients, I've done just fine with static image ads. What's kind of funny is the client that I'm going to start running the video ad for, their numbers just bottomed out at the same time mine did. There's just no, like my other clients are all doing great. I don't know what happened. My ads and their ads just around March 15th, just like somebody said, well, let's just turn these guys off for now. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try a video ad with them, see what happens.
I was reading that Reddit article that you were talking about, Jeremy, as well. Because like I've been just researching a little bit more about ads to kind of see what like I always try to stay like one step ahead of Facebook, which is really hard to do because they're extremely unpredictable with all of the changes that they kind of roll out. But just some of the things that I've noticed, you guys, is like I think in the next couple years or coming up pretty soon, they're going to get rid of a lot of the targeting options.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of it is going to use AI, and I think a lot of it's just going to use like, I mean, their system is already smart as hell as it is, but I would not be surprised if you're going to start seeing better results with an ad set that's really, really broad. So I would just kind of keep that in your back pocket, and maybe when you're ever thinking like, hey, the cost per lead isn't what it should be, try to go for something more broad and then just let it kind of go for a little bit and see what it looks like. Because for the past couple months, I've been just kind of targeting like 3 interests. I never really do more than that, and I found success with that. But I'm also going to start targeting more broad again to see what that looks like. So I just want to let you guys know that's what I'm doing as well.
Okay. Thank you.
And I've mentioned this before, I have a couple of different trainings that I have like on Udemy or whatever. Both of those guys say don't mess around with restricting your audience. Let the algorithm figure it out for you. So and to be totally honest with you, I know it's a really good offer, so that I'm sure that helps. But the other one I'm doing for the auto repair place, I have that just set to advantage audiences, and you know, over 4 days they got 5 leads. So
Yeah, what I will say as well too is like, I mean, I don't usually recommend this for people, and I still necessarily maybe wouldn't unless you want to throw money into it to see what it would look like. But I don't know these people personally, but I know there's been a lot of people that have been advertising on TikTok and having a great success. And I think the reason that that could be as well is like there's so many users on the platform right now, and because it's kind of competing with Facebook to advertise, the CPM is literally like more than half off. So, for example, like if you're running ads for like, a chiropractor or something along the lines of that, the cost per lead may be a little bit different or lower just because it's reaching so many people within that area at a specific time. And I think that like I don't think TikTok right now it still doesn't have radius targeting from the last time that I've checked, but it does have like zip codes and regions. So like for businesses like garage door repairs or things along the lines of that, it can be extremely beneficial, especially with like the painting realm and stuff. Because like I remember when I was running ads for TikTok and like my I believe my CPM was like $10, which is really low
yeah,
compared to 25, 30. And I think a lot of people might have like the common misconception of like, oh, like there's only kids on TikTok. It's like, well, you still remember can set the age on
right. Yeah.
and 30-year-olds want to get their bathrooms remodeled. You know what I mean? So maybe something to look in toward is as well, where it's super simple. You don't need a lot of targeting. You just need to know the demographic of like where the location is, and then just broad audience and just let it fly and testing
So
it out.
have they decided if TikTok is going to even be around anymore? Like, or be banned or what? Like, I thought the deadline wasn't like April 5 or something.
Yeah, so I was really skeptical with what the hell they're trying to do with it. I still don't know because I've heard rumors of like they're gonna get rid of it, they're not gonna get rid of it, they're gonna get rid of it, they're not gonna
Yeah.
get rid of it. For right now, I don't think they're gonna get rid of it. I
Right.
think yes, I like I've been holding off on like advertising on TikTok for a while now just because like I've just been dominating with Instagram, so there's no point for me to even move. But there's definitely like market share there because I mean if I could just ask you guys like how many ads have you seen of roofers or painters or bathroom remodels or anything like that on TikTok? You're gonna tell me none. So it's like you're really not gonna compete with anybody, and the CPM is so damn low that it's like as you're running ads, they're also retargeting ads because you're doing it within a specific area, and so many people have to see it in a day to even spend your money. So maybe something worth considering, actually.
Yeah. And that's only video, right? You can't do,
Yeah. So yeah, videos.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be anything that's like crazily edited. So I think like Righteous had a really good ad where it was just like the painting, or who was it with the cabinets? Was it you, Righteous? That there was like an indoor painting. I think it was you, right?
Yeah, me and him on both.
Yeah.
Pretty
So
much.
I think if you guys take that and just run that on TikTok, and just even spend like 30, $40 just to see what could happen, that might be even worth it. But Kashik might punch me for even telling you guys that because he doesn't like when I tell you guys to go to TikTok sometimes.
I would say, Keith, when it comes to, so a few things you were saying, you spoke about this, I think, last week, which is like advantage targeting.
Yeah.
I would say, dude, test it out. Yeah, I mean, like we just don't know. Like everybody's different. That's just the truth. Like, and anybody that tells you like, oh, it's got to be this way, dude, like I would be mine. That's kind of my rule. Is like anybody that tells me, do it this way, because I've seen so many exceptions to that. Like I will tell you right now, anytime I do open, it barely works for me, and that's me. And that's hundreds of thousands of dollars in testing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And but then I have got other people that like, swear by it, like Mason, for example, or somebody else, some other people. So it's just test it and figure out what works for you.
Okay.
And so some people photos work best, some people images. I
Yeah.
feel like for B2C offers with a really clear, I feel like for things that are really simple to understand, really clear, oftentimes an image ad works really well. This is why I feel like this is a theory. It's like with med spa, it's like, do you want to lose weight? Here's our price point. You want it, yes or no? hey, we're offering fillers, which you probably know what it is, or Botox, and you probably know what, here's the price point, you want it, yes or no.
Sure.
Versus something like I can see why concrete like that before and after works really well. I feel like it could work well for you as well. Um, yeah, I don't know. And then maybe with something that's super expensive like basement repair, maybe they need a spokesperson. Maybe you need to have like some talking going on there. I don't know. It's just testing, man. I'm just talking out loud. It's just
No,
testing.
no, that's cool. Any insight, even if it's something, like it, because it's one of those like
But what I will say is this. So what Mason was talking about, I do have to kind of get on him from time to time. My big thing that I always tell you guys, I always tell Mason is like just do what's proven first and foremost. That's the number one thing. If it's proven, do that. Imitate before you iterate. Like if we look at like I
Yeah.
know Cam's not here right now, but that's why Cam's got the success he has. We just said imitate before you iterate. I think Jeremy, imitate before you iterate. Funnel hack. My biggest thing is funnel hacking over and over again. Just do what works. Start there before you try to like all the stuff I'm talking about. Like here's why I think image ads work. Here's why I think video ads work. Here's what we should do with TikTok. That comes second to just doing what works. Whatever works, start there. I think even Amun's ad, the one that Amun and Righteous are running, Amun didn't make that up. Amun got that from he funnel hacked that
Yeah.
over and over again. What I'm seeing. So here's evidence. Amun, Jeremy, Cam. The advice has been the same. Go funnel hack, show me what works, and then let's start there. And then we'll innovate, we'll tweak things. It's always funnel hacking. It's all
Yeah.
funnel hacking unless you have direct access to somebody that's already running the ad or the funnel, whatever that you can just copy and paste what they're doing.
Yeah.
And then after you
And that's
figure,
what I did this time a lot more directly.
yeah,
Which was funny because I've been seeing this ad. It's over 6 months old. I've been filtering by that. I've been seeing this ad for a while. I kind of um fashioned my landing page a little bit after their style. But then when I decided to pivot from the whole lansingbasements.com to I ended up buying basementrepairexpert.com. And then I didn't even realize, but that ad that I ended up modeling, they're called the basement expert. So I like inadvertently stole their whole thing. But hey, whatever. I mean, they've been up for a while and they got a ton of ads, so
yeah, yeah.
I don't know. And so that's the copy I took, and then I modeled kind of the images after that a little bit. So
I remember those guys. I remember seeing them.
yeah, we talked about them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm just gonna let it run. So hopefully by next Monday I have a lot more to talk about.
Cool. Yeah, just dude, don't be scared to spend money and don't be scared.
I am. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let it go. So I
Okay.
promise.
Cool. Anything else before I'll transition? Then I think just maybe hearing me and Aman and Righteous talk a little bit could be beneficial. Helpful.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'll just definitely take in what you guys are saying. So thanks.
Yeah, I'm surprised, Mason. Nobody else has done basement model repair.
Bathroom
repair
bro. I think it's such a good niche, dude.
for sure. Is that did Aiden crack that one? Do you know by any chance? Is that
I'm
one?
not sure, but I know that like there's been a couple people that have cracked it, and I just think it's a good niche to get into because one, it can be year round. Two, the cost per lead should be relatively low compared to something like painting, and the profit margins are also decently great depending on the company, but it should be on a margin of like 30 to 40%, which is typically high, and the average job is over like $2,000.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just feel like they would be a really good niche.
Yeah. Good call. Yeah, Aman, I guess if you want to chop it up, man. Maybe Keith gets something out of this, Righteous gets something out of this. But yeah, where do you want to take the conversation?
Yeah. So yeah, listen through your voice notes and stuff. I think the main thing is just trying to test a few more things that based on just ads I've seen that's been running the longest. And I feel like most of them just seem to be like video ads of like someone talking to the camera of some sort. And then there were like quite a handful of like the narration ones. So I just create an ad now which I can show that like literally just took the script of one of the narration ads and I just added it to a bunch of clips that I found online. So I can just show that if you wanna. And then I was just kind of thinking from there, I created like a variation of like a script that I can use on these clips for like specifically the paint cost quiz. Like I could probably use this ad for the paint cost quiz, but like specifically a paint cost narration, but um I'll show what I have so far. So basically,
Your house in need of a refresh? We got you covered. Our expert team specializes in painting services that are quick, seamless, and affordable. Whether it's interior or exterior painting, we'll have your home looking fresh and vibrant in no time. Click the link below to schedule your painting project today.
What's
so
the difference
the
between,
narration was
yeah, what's the difference between this one and like what you funnel hacked?
it's basically I'll show you. I'll show you that one so that way you can not here. Let's see.
I don't know how you do this with your tab.
I know. It was like barely anything there, but when I start going, today I just
Your house in need of a refresh? We got you covered. Our expert team specializes in painting services that are quick, seamless, and affordable. Whether it's interior or exterior painting, we'll have your home looking fresh and vibrant in no time. Click the link below to schedule your painting project today.
it's the same narration, basically the same voice, and then I just, I basically just had some clips I found.
Why
But I could even model.
can I ask like why you're doing that in terms of um like why you're rebuilding the creative? I'm not challenging. I'm just wondering what's logically going on instead of like literally taking this and ripping it and like using AI to get rid of the logo.
Yeah, one, I couldn't figure out how to download this because it's not like I can right click anymore. It doesn't seem like I can do that now. And then two, I guess just, yeah, I don't know, just the idea of doing that, um,
Okay,
but yeah.
cool. Yeah.
So I just try to model it, even like the first one being like the inside of like him using the roller. I tried to just copy, um, oh, he's not using the roller here, but I think there are some clips. So I may just like try a few with like different hooks, um, and then see how that goes. So
Do this for me, okay? Just if you can. Is I'm just curious. Is screen record it and like put something in terms of their logo and then just have an ad set with your ad and their ad in it.
okay,
Just for shits and giggles. I'm just curious. That's what I would do at least. Because there might be something to their hook. There might be something to the opening shot. There might be something there.
right,
That's what I'm getting
okay,
at.
all right, I'll do it. I'll try.
Even though it's like gonna be super pixelated or whatever, just let's see if there's anything to what they're doing here.
Okay, so just like loom it and then just take it from there. Okay, I'll try.
Yeah. Just so we can see, and maybe there's nothing. If there's nothing, well then cool. Just obviously rock with your stuff.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Um,
What else?
and then for the narration for I feel like I could still use this ad for the paint cost quiz because this was more gonna be geared towards like the 10% off thing. Um, so I want to get your thoughts on that, but I was thinking about just creating like another narration that's like thinking about painting your home, find out how much it really costs with our quick quiz, just answer a few simple questions, and we'll.
So when it comes to funnel hacking, what are you finding? You kind of like broke it up into three categories. You said, hey, somebody's in front of the camera, the B-roll kind of thing. Like what is the offer that's made? Is there any offer or is it just like, hey, click on the ad to learn more?
Most of it is just either 10% off or it's just or like a percentage off. Each one's different, but or it's just like get a quote. So
Okay,
there's
so
no like main offer.
my suggestion, what I would do if I were you is this. I would not mix in the quiz stuff.
Okay.
Because you are getting results for the quiz stuff, and Righteous, you and Righteous are both doing the quiz stuff right now. Righteous, are you doing the quiz stuff? Like it's a quiz, but it's the instant form, yeah?
Yeah, yep, still doing the quiz.
Okay. Because like what you're gonna do is you're Frankenstein too many things together, I think. Like for me, I'm just saying how I would do it. Maybe that works great, but what I would do is I personally would just like pick one of those three. I'm not even one of those things. Like you can, if it were me, I would have an ad set with like their ad and your ad, and that would be like one test. I would have another ad set where maybe I had somebody talking, and then maybe, yeah. But I don't think I don't think I would mix in the quiz stuff yet. And I think what I would do is I would try to kind of figure out, okay, what's working better? The voiceover is working better or somebody in front of the camera?
Right.
And just keeping the 10% variable there just to not mix it up. And then from there,
Right.
if I get good results, well, maybe then after that, once I confirm like, okay, this is the banging creative, this is just what works, then maybe I'll want to try a quiz on there to see what I can do with that. At least that's me.
Right.
I'm not saying what you're doing is wrong. I'm just telling you that's how I would do it.
Yeah.
It just seems like there's a lot of variables that you're mixing.
Yeah, I was well when I set the quiz, I was gonna have that as its like own ad set and then test it against the winning ad for that. So like if I did this one, like the one that I showed you now, that would be its own ad set with the 10% angle or whatever the angle is here. Is it this one?
Little TLC.
No, it's not this, but
So basically, you're saying you'd have one ad set with some of these proven creatives, and then you'd have another ad set, and all the creatives in there would just be the cost quiz stuff.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, I figured that's what you
Um,
meant. And that's fine. Like I said, that's fine if you want to do it. I just
Yeah.
feel like you're spending so much money testing all
Right.
out.
Yeah.
It's like because it's like we don't actually know because you're the only like our theory is for the cost quiz comes from Aiden.
Right.
We don't actually know if that's true or not. Like it's not like he did the quiz thing for painters.
Yeah. I'd say the only thing with that is that the cost quiz has got me the
Best results.
best results so far. There was one that I did the 15% off, and then like two people came in, and I got those two people right away. So that's why I was like kind of fixated on. I got fixated on the 15%, and then I relaunched the quiz funnel and started to bring in leads again. So, I don't know how the quiz does in terms of conversions yet or anything like that, but it's gotten me the best results so far. But that being said, I
That's
can't babysit this.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's totally fair. I get the logic. I understand that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just kind of like, I'm kind of balancing between two, and there's just like I think maybe a little bit of impatience since I have like a client I'm just running. But I think now I can let the cost quiz do its thing and then just kind of test other things. I'm thinking like for this one, right, where I test the two ads, should I just do this copy and the 10% off this month and then just try that with this creative and then as well as the screen recording of this creative?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what that's what I would do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just try that and see tomorrow if, one brings better results.
Okay. What else is brewing in your head?
That's all. Yeah, I can just start with that and just see.
Okay. Okay. Anything you wanted to chime in, Righteous, regarding this? I mean, I'm gonna talk about like I'm curious kind of like what your results are and or like you have thoughts regarding this or anything like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat because I want to test out some new creatives. I'm just using the cost quiz right now. Um, and I'm getting results. But I do want to test out like a 10% off or like some kind of offer, like especially for my Columbus client. I just put the budget to 70 because I wasn't getting anything at like 35. I even put it to 40. I just put it to 70 and I got two leads. So I was like, oh shoot, I can kind of breathe a little bit. But as far as the creatives, I found one in the ad library that's been running since like August 23. And it's kind of like what you were talking about, like you have a video on one end, before and after, and then like maybe the like a pitch, like photos on the other side. I was like, I didn't know how to really get that, but now that you told them on to just kind of screen record it, I can probably rip that just to see what, if it works, because it's been running for some months now. So I know it's got to do something.
Good. Yeah, let's test that for sure. I have a feeling Amon has done some before and afters. I did see his before, but like that style of it, let's test that out. I have a feeling that could work really well. So
Okay.
definitely cool. When you said you're getting results, are you talking about like where you're like in other location you're hooking like in Atlanta? Is that what you mean when you say you're getting results consistently or?
Just getting the leads going in Columbus right now. I feel like Memphis, there's no issue.
That's what I meant. Is like, so in Memphis, like what is your cost? Like, are you seeing pretty consistent costs out there?
Yeah, yeah.
What's your
So
cost?
like about $18.
Wow. Just consistent across the board.
Yeah. Like I literally got like cause I was spending so much just between the two. Like I had a bunch of leads from Memphis poured through. I had to shut it off so that I could nurture those leads to hook and hook a business owner. Cause I had too much coming through with that and the Columbus at the same time. I was like, this is too much. So but I still want to do some testing just to see that if I can get it to the point where I don't have to keep duplicating because it'll still die down after a couple days, but it's still shooting out a good amount to keep me going.
So the $18 one out in Memphis, you're saying like you have like 3, 4 solid days or however long, and then you duplicate the ad set and boom, it starts picking up $18 again.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure if I turn it on right now, I even put it down as low as $10 and I was still getting leads. I was like, I mean, that's cool, but like, I got to hook up business owners. So
Okay. What are your thoughts when you hear that one? Like
My
what?
first thought, are you getting more leads through, because there was two videos, there was like the cabinet painting and then there was like the outdoor house painting. Like, was there a better one that worked for you? Or like, or is it either one? Like,
yeah, it's kind of either one. I've been trying to pinpoint which one works best, but they're like neck and neck. Like one can do good and then, either or really. So
okay, yeah. Um, so I mean, I guess what that tells me is like probably just the location, maybe. Um, so you did Memphis and Columbus.
yeah, Memphis and Columbus.
I feel
Was
like
any like
okay.
patterns between those two, or other than it seems like bigger cities, kind of not bigger, but
Um, I don't know, because like when I first came out to Memphis, I think Memphis was the first area where I did do like a higher budget.
Mm,
So like when I was in Columbus testing the first time, or even like when I was trying to test out in Charlotte, it was just like I was doing $30 to 35, maybe 40, but I didn't go to 50 or 70. So like that 50 and 70 mark is where I'm seeing what's working for me when it comes to leads coming in.
right.
Have you tried that one? Like 50, $70 budget ad sets?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've done some that were $50, $70 that wasn't getting results too. So, but I've yeah, yeah.
Okay. Righteous. So you said you've done North Carolina, you've done Columbus, you've done Memphis. Any other locations?
Nope. I
Okay.
finally struck gold in Memphis, and I was like, all right, that's where I'm gonna sit right here until I can
Okay.
kind of blow it up and do what you said.
Okay. Fair. Okay. So interesting. So same creative, same copy, same offer, same everything, 3 different markets, and we're seeing that the consistently on one that you're talking about, like that seems to be in one location that we're typically used to seeing with med spas. For you, Amon, what are the locations you've tested?
I've tried Atlanta, Georgia, and then I did this place called Boca Raton or Raton, and sorry, Boca was in Florida.
Yeah.
And then the other one was Costa Mesa, in California. So I would say the later two were like smaller places, and then Atlanta was like the bigger place, and that's where I got the cost quiz to work. I haven't tested the cost quiz in Florida, um, in West Palm, which is where the Boca place is. But and then for California, I did get a few leads to come through with like the 15% off angle.
So we tried ATL, we tried Georgia, we tried Boca Raton, we tried Costa Mesa, and then West Palm.
Yeah, Boca is in West Palm.
So you tried 1, 2, 3, 4 locations.
I tried 3 locations.
Eight,
Boca.
oh, ATL Georgia is
Yeah,
ATL
yeah,
location, I'm sorry.
yeah.
So ATL, okay. And then so all 3 of those locations, have you tried the same ad, cost quiz, everything in all 3, or is it different variables? I know you're doing different variables, but like have you tried that one? Like the way Righteous has tried one variable in all locations, have you tried that one variable on all locations or no?
I tried So I did the quiz, the exact quiz one in both Atlanta and California. And in California it wasn't performing, but then the 15% off was doing pretty good. So I've done the 15% all three. And the 15% off got okay, but I haven't been able to get like a lead like actually like warmed through the Florida one. So that's why I was gonna try the quiz funnel again there.
Okay. So we've tried. So we tried the 15% off in all three locations, which is getting somewhat.
Uh-huh.
And then the cost quiz you've done where?
Cost quiz I've tried in Atlanta.
Only Atlanta?
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
So I did want to try again, which is why I was kind of like going through that narration thing because I was like, I kind of want to try. Well, I'll probably just try the original winning ad and just see how that does in Boca. Um,
Part of me, so it's hard to know like the right direction to go. What are your thoughts on this? Like after hearing what I heard from Righteous of like he's doing the exact same thing in multiple locations and now he's got a place in Memphis. It just works. What if we test that variable out where you're doing the exact same thing in Boca and in Costa Mesa, the cost quiz?
yeah. Well, I tried the cost quiz in Costa Mesa. That's the one that let me see
It didn't
if
work.
I
Right, it didn't work. You did the
yeah,
50.
I was having a hard time with that one. Let me see. Costa Mesa
So we have not done the cost quiz in Boca, but we have done an
and
ATL.
Boca. Yeah, I haven't tried in Boca yet.
Gotcha. I mean,
Um,
part of me thinks like, what if, you know,
Yeah, like the lowest I got it was. But then I also tried the cost quiz in Houston
how'd that?
and that one got like $20 a
Fuck yeah.
lead. Yeah, so I feel like bigger cities tend to do better with the cost quiz was from what I was seeing.
So how did it do in Atlanta, Georgia?
Atlanta, Georgia was doing pretty good. I think right now I have it at like right now it's sitting around $26.
Okay.
Well, actually, I
So
don't know. I don't think I got four leads. I don't think I got five leads. One, two, three, four, five. Yeah,
so
five.
here's what's brewing in my head. Okay, Aman. So I'm gonna like go further back. So here's what this is telling me. What's happening with you, what's happening with Righteous. Here's what this is telling me. 30,000 feet view. I love you to death. So I'm gonna give you a little pushback right now, which is focusing so much on service delivery. Remember that? Remember I was telling you, I was like, we're delving super deep into service delivery, which is what we did with med spas and just kind of getting stuck there instead of focusing on like getting more clients, scaling, and then just figuring other stuff out. So my thoughts are this is like I feel like if you test things out, like here's the thing. If you want to go this route of testing things out, you can, but you gotta have like a hard stop. Like you gotta tell yourself, dude, I'm spending up to $500 over the next 2, 3 weeks. And if I strike gold, I strike gold. If not, then it's like just doing the cost quiz and just like going to these different locations and just probing. Oh, I got something. Okay, let me get a business owner there. Because what we need to focus on, in my opinion, is we need to focus on sales. We need to focus on upsells, downsells, selling the 5K pad. That's what you really need to focus on. That's what's going to really move the needle, I think.
Well, the reason I was testing was because one, the Atlanta leads just stopped coming in right when I got the client. And so that was like a very big stress on me because like I couldn't get anything to work. And then two, I hooked someone in Boca. Again, I was just trying to find like some place in Florida just so I can, start tackling like closer to me, like, on my time zone. And so I just tried like someplace in Florida and then I got a really good business owner hooked there. And so I really liked him, and so I was just testing out different things there. So that's kind of why I got fixated on that area. But again, I didn't specifically test a quiz funnel in that area. So like um I got really fixated on just like, okay, I got a few warm handoffs from the 15%. That may be the way to go. No one's saying like, oh, I thought I was gonna get the quote right away. So I was like, okay, let me just try this. Um So yeah, that's kind of why. So it is like ultimately to get, because I have someone hooked, in the area is what I'm testing.
Yeah. I guess what I'm saying is like it's what I'm saying is I think it's possible that you guys have already maybe figured something out that's decent, which
Mhm.
is the cost quiz stuff. Like that creative with the cost quiz and whatever is happening, it's possible that that already works good enough and that it's just about finding a few target locations.
It's all about the location,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm getting at. Is like, look, it's not going to work everywhere, but if you
Yeah,
keep probing and you get yourself like 10 good locations and you get 10 business owners that each you can have an LTV of 7.5K, that's 75 grand.
right,
That's what I think getting at.
right. Okay. So just honestly, before I go find some area, start hooking, just run, say, a few different locations, and then whatever shows promise, then just start hooking in there.
Yeah. So here's what I'm saying. Yes. So the fast way is that. The fast way is say, screw it, I'm not gonna test and do any of the stuff I'm doing right now. Instead, I'm just gonna commit just to finding locations, whatever is getting me, whenever I strike gold, like Rich is talking about. Like you heard what he says, like, dude, if I turn it on, I'm gonna be over, I can't handle the leads and I need to hook a business owner. That's the stress. The stress is it's so good.
Yeah,
Right. And so what I'm saying to you is this, you have one of two routes. I think again, my concern is if we go down this rabbit hole of like testing all these creatives, testing all this copy, focus on service delivery, because service delivery will never be perfect, right? And so we have that route. And the other route is the route of like, okay, let's just take the cost quiz and just find different locations and let's just try to commit to getting 10 business owners and that's it. And getting them to
right,
do people's 5K packages or whatever. So what I'm saying for you is you either pick this route or if you want to pick this route, I'm saying pick this route, but like commit to like a hard 2 week deadline and spending a certain amount of money to test out different ads creative and seeing if you can beat out the cost quiz.
right. Okay. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel like just running the cost quiz and finding, yeah, I think for some reason I just thought like this is gonna work everywhere, so I'm gonna just, the ad should work everywhere. Not that specific ad, but I don't know why I was like stubborn or just decide to start an area, to start hooking in an area and just thinking like, okay, like I've tested like three angles of an ad, so I know like, okay, if it's a lesser location, I can run this ad, and then if it's a higher location, I could do the quiz ad. And so I think I just felt like I had confidence to just start hooking an area and be like, okay, like I want to figure out the ads once I hook someone. And then that ended up costing me a lot because I could have just ran the ads first, like I did in, California, and then just come to a conclusion before I start hooking people. Um, and so from what it sounds like, just start like
What I'm
tomorrow I
saying,
can.
what I'm saying is like, if you want, put your mind at ease. But it's going to cost
Yeah,
you $100 to do that. So right now it's like we know it's about 20 and righteous. If you can share with Aman and me or in your Excel, like what is the CPM, what is the number of clicks? So this way we know, okay, at this CPM, you're gonna get about this many clicks and this many people convert over. So we have that as like a baseline. If you can do that, righteous, if you can share that, you can put it on your Google Doc. That would be very beneficial. And then what I'm saying is like, okay, this is the baseline, Aman. If you want to commit the next 2 weeks to see if you can beat the baseline by funnel hacking, doing the different things. And if you can, okay, boom, now you have the new baseline. We're at $15 per lead. Okay, let's run with that. And you use that and you just keep probing all around the United States and get your 10 clients.
right,
Cannot beat it, then we go back to this and you just probe around and get your 10 clients.
right.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What are your, I guess like what's brewing in your head when I say that?
Yeah. So I mean, I feel like that's kind of where my mind's at now too. Um, cause, cause like, I guess cause I did see the promise with the quality of the leads that initially came in from that 15%. I thought that was it. And so that's why I spent so much time just like fixated on that, just making sure that can work. Cause I also see that's working everywhere else, or that's what everyone else is doing. And so, I just spent so much time just trying to like get
You did
that to work.
you did the 15% in Boca Raton.
Mhm,
You did the 15% Kosa Misa.
mhm.
And so Costa Mesa is where it worked really well.
Um, yeah, it worked well there. Well, I got the warm handoffs in Atlanta with it, which is why I felt promising, but then it quickly tanked after that.
Okay.
Um, and then I got a few people on the phone for Costa Mesa, and then when I did it in Boca, I was starting to get leads, but I couldn't get any on the phone, or it was like it just felt like bad quality. So, again, it doesn't not work. Like I think it works, but it was
I
let
think
me see.
which one of
Um,
those locations would you say is the best so far? Would you say it's Georgia, Boca, Costa Mesa, or Houston? Like out of all those locations, not necessarily like just like, yeah, what area would you feel like is the best in terms of painting leads?
Atlanta, Houston, or I would say the best ones, and then Costa Mesa and the West Palm one. So what that seems to tell me, and based on what Righteous is showing, is that like some of the bigger cities are gonna be the better ones. You know, because I was hearing that bigger cities are harder, but it seems like the most more like
If
yeah.
if we consider like all of your bats and the ones that are like home runs, do you feel like the cost quiz is working better for you, or do you feel like the 15% is working better for you? Like overall, if you had to divide success by the number of bats.
I would say the quiz so far.
If you had to say like, you know, 5 out of 10 for the quiz, 3 out of 10 for the 15%, what would you?
Mm, I'd say like 5 or 6 out of 10 for the 15%, and then maybe like 7 out of for the
Cost
cost. Like it seems better
Yeah.
because I've had quite a few handoffs with it. And I had, a few handouts with the other one, but after that, I feel like it was a little bit harder. Um, but I did get a few people on the phone in California. Yeah, I would still say the quiz is doing a little bit better. I would say the quiz is probably doing better, but I'll probably get more like, oh, I just thought this was a quiz, and if that's the trade-off, then so be it.
I mean, like, okay.
And it's only happened like twice, so it's not
Okay.
even like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, from what I'm hearing, the cost quiz significantly outshining the 15% in terms of overall leads.
Actually, let me see something real quick. Um, see Houston. Oh, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I think it's showing the most promise right now.
Okay. Um, where's your head out? Like um, based off of that, here's again for me, if I were you, if you had money that you wanted to test for sure, I would again carve out 2 weeks to test out more things like the 50 or funnel hacking. I think you've tried quite a bit in terms of 15%, but it's like the funnel hacking, whatever they're doing. That's what I would do if I were you, and just to see again if you can make it better than the cost quiz, and just
Yeah,
commit.
I mean, I
Give me
don't think that's what my mind is at. I think my mind is I just want to move the needle.
okay.
And so I'd rather so where my mind is that I set up since I already have a business owner hooked in West Palm, I can just see if the quiz works there. Now, if the quiz doesn't work in that area, then that tells me that location, like it gives me a better idea in terms of like where to look, right? Like I should pick cities that I'm like that are pretty a lot more familiar.
I think
Houston,
that
um, you
that's
know,
that's what I'm seeing too. So yeah, if the goal is to move the needle, not to like have like, okay, I just want to see if I get something good, research,
Yeah.
then dude, I think just it's taking a cost quiz and like, probing around, and if anything, refine the cost quiz.
Yeah,
What you can do if you have extra budget is to refine the cost quiz, try out other variables to make that better, if anything. That's what I
yeah,
would think if I were you.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. So tomorrow I'll start with West Palm, and then if that doesn't work, then I'm just gonna move on to I just figured because I had a good business owner hook there, I would try to figure out something. But I feel like right now it's not worth
Yeah.
going through all that because I've tested, tested already quite a bit. So
Okay. Cool. Well, I'm glad we went down this rabbit hole then. Um,
yeah,
yeah. It's interesting. We always this happens often. We'll go in with like a certain angle and then we'll come out with like a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so cool.
But and if I get like say for the client that I have in Atlanta, if the cost quiz starts going down, I test different variables, I think by default I'll be forced to do creative testing anyway with
Yeah.
them. So I might as well just do it for someone who, or is already then just to kind of, test it to hook someone or test it to just for like a trial or something.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else on your mind?
No, I'll just start there. And just take it with that.
Keith, did you get anything out of that you felt was useful? That help at all? I know this is like way different than what you and I were talking about.
I mean, I think it's interesting that you're testing all different cities, and I think that's something I've been kind of gun shy about doing. So maybe I should just like throw up some ads in some other places as well. Um, do you are you guys using the same Facebook page for everything, or are you creating a new Facebook page in each market?
Same one.
Same page.
What's that?
Same page. I'm using the same Facebook page.
Okay.
Same.
And that's a problem because I named mine very locally named. So probably doesn't matter, but
I think you can change the name of your page, can't you? Or no?
that's literally what I was trying to do
I
in
had
this while we were talking.
mine still says Ohio on it, so it don't matter.
You have Ohio. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have Lansing basements, and now I'm trying to change to basement repair experts to make it more general. But yeah. I guess like the quiz just never did not work for me at all. I didn't get anything. Like, the only thing I got was a competitor, tire kicking.
I feel like what I'm learning over and over again from seeing you guys is that step one is to first create the key. And what that means is create a winning funnel. We don't know which doors it will unlock, but we know that this is a good key. And so this phase you're at right now, Keith, is like creating that key. And I think for me, again, what I'm seeing over again, it's like just doing it's like funnel hacking, market research, and trying to create that key.
Yeah.
After that, it's really just okay, let's go to different markets and try to see what doors we can open. Some markets will work well and some won't. So when you say like I'm thinking about testing different markets, it's possible, but it's also like I think first is like creating the key before
Sure.
you know what I mean? If you have a shitty key and you're trying in all these different locations, it's not going to open any doors,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if that analogy or metaphor makes any
Yeah.
sense.
But I guess my question then is like, how long do you just let it go without making any changes? Like,
You're looking at so in terms of like getting a lead,
yeah,
I mean the rule is like 3 times KPI, but you don't even know what your KPI is. But like
exactly.
if we said your KPI is $45, $45 times 3 is like, okay, if an ad set is not generating a lead within then let's shut it down. That's the typical rule.
Okay. I can work with that.
But yeah, I think that's where you're at, man, is like just kind of figuring out so that like after all the exercise me and Aman just did, it's like he's like trying to, I think what he came in here trying to do is like trying to create another key. And I think what we ultimately came to a conclusion of is like, no, dude, your key is fine. Go go knock on doors and go try to open doors. That's I think the ultimate conclusion he and I.
Right. Right.
So for you, it's let's create the key first.
Okay.
But yeah,
Right, just do you keep your ads in two different ad sets, or is your cabinet footage and your exterior footage in the same ad set, and then you're just letting Facebook decide?
They two different assets. I
Okay.
separate them. I think the first time I did it, because I didn't really know how to set it up, it was that way, but I was just trying to model you the best way. That way I can know which one's a cabinet and exterior.
Okay, you just split your budget between the two.
Yep.
Got it. I'm like almost considering putting both of them in the same ad set, but I feel like I don't want to change anything up, so um I may just do the exterior painting one.
Got you.
But okay.
On anything else you want to delve into? Or as we're kind of on this topic, on Righteous, Keith, anything else that we can kind of mastermind together that you guys feel like would be helpful for everybody?
Um, Obviously, I know like the ad, and actually, no, I'm not gonna even get into that. I was gonna say because like with the ad I created, like should I just like also throw in the bunch with the same quest quiz and just like not even have the narration, but just have like the video music with the same text that says
Yeah.
Elena Cox.
So yeah, I mean, so what you're saying is like, hey, we already got this thing, but I started creating this. Like, is it worth just testing these new ads with the cost quiz strategy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like throwing like 3 ads under the cost quiz and then
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what I meant is like let's stick to the cost quiz moving
just
forward, and then just
Yeah.
we can test out other creatives to see if we can basically beat out our control. I think that would be
okay. Okay. And for the Atlanta one which is running, is getting leads right now, if I were to duplicate the ad and then change out the creative and then launch it under the same ad set, you don't think that's gonna mess anything up, do you? Or should I just
the
wait till things start going down and then
the Atlanta, Georgia one that is that a client?
that's a client, yeah.
Okay, so you're asking what?
Like so there's 4 ads under the ad set and one is getting the results. One's getting spend, one's getting results. If I were to add another ad in the ad set and then launch it, do you think it would mess anything up or do you think I should just not touch it until it starts?
Yeah,
Okay.
I wouldn't touch it.
Okay. But I'll do it for say like West Palm. I'll have, 3 ads under one ad set and then just see what does best there. And
Yep.
then we'll just let it run.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you want to have one ad set with 3 ads in it and then go a little crazy, have 3 ad sets with like a little bit less budget with all 3 ads in it. Like that's how I think, that's how I do it. Like I'll have one ad set with all the ads in it, but then to be safe, I'll break it up. But again, that's a me thing. If you want to go, that's something that's a little bit overboard, and I don't even know if that's necessary for you.
Oh, are you saying like have 3 ads under one ad set and then have another ad set with just the winning ad? Is that what you're saying?
So the way I do things is I'll have like one ad set and then I'll
Uh-huh.
have like all the ads within it. But
Uh-huh.
then also like let's say it's 3 ads. So I'll have one ad set with 3 ads in it, but then I'll have 3 separate ad sets with one ad,
Uh-huh.
all of them. So I'm having like 4 ad sets total to
Mm.
test. That's what I do. I'm redundant.
All right. Just to like do you find when you do that that you're getting consistency between the two?
No,
No.
no.
Okay.
So for me, I'm like
Yeah.
crazy, a little bit crazy because I find different results. Now, here's what I will say is I'll do that and then I won't make any decisions and it'll be like 3 months, 6 months down the road and a significant amount of spend has gone by and one will beat out the other over time.
One will beat out over time. Okay.
I'll
So
keep eating tests.
eventually it'll get the data on both sides. Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a thing of like, okay, this is obviously my winner. I get some sales from this, some sales from this, I get some sale, but this is the one that like takes the lion's share of the sales. And that's
What do
how
you think in my scenario, if I have like $35, $50 daily ad spend and I just try something out, do you think I should just throw all 3? I mean, I know 2 of them basically work, and then one would be the new one I'd be testing.
I think I think for now, if you want to, if you can afford it, like go for it now. And just see if there's anything that is substantial. If there's nothing substantial, then fuck it. So what I mean by that is like if you're getting $20 per lead from the original ad, if somehow you're getting $15 from the new creative, okay, let's explore that. If not, fuck it. We're just moving forward, just that main ad.
And when you say that, do you mean like testing 3 different ad sets or
One ad set.
one ad set? Okay, I'm just gonna start with one ad set and then I'll do the 2 previous ads I've done plus one new one, and then we'll just see how that goes.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right, we'll just get them
Okay.
there.
Okay. Anything else that you want to go over, Rowan?
No, that'll be all for now.
Okay, cool. Um, so Cam, is he here? There he is. Mr. Cam.
It, um, I have to go in like 20 minutes.
Okay.
But from last we talked, I think the only thing I think I really asked about was um
Orlando.
yeah, the Orlando thing. So I didn't get a chance to listen to your voice note. But I assume it's just I think you said something about making a list of all the analytics, everything that I've tried, what the results for each one of those tests were. So you can like, get an idea as to what to try next and what the game plan should be. Like what's after that, what's after that. If those things don't work and so on. Is that pretty accurate? Like if I make you a decent loom and do all those numbers, is that gonna get us further?
I think so. Because I mean, what did you want to do today? Like, what do you feel like would be the best use of the 20 minutes we have today?
Um, I don't really know. It's just this Orlando thing that's kind of stumping me. I'm getting really good results with everybody else. It's just this one Orlando thing, and they're kind of doing their own thing now, where they don't want to be doing my offer. They have their own ways that they've been doing forever. They just want me to be their Facebook guy, and they're open to some things, and they were to open to some things. But since I can't get this going, they're kind of like, all right, I don't want to do this. Let's try this other thing. So now I'm kind of just testing not just ways to get my thing to work, but also how to make their stuff work. Um, they're still open to me continuing to try to get my stuff to work, but
What is
holy
their
crap, this is like just a night and day switch up from what I'm used to. And I can't figure out a solution. So to me, it's almost like, oh, no, it's just the location. My thing doesn't work in the location, but they have one thing that is getting $35 per lead. And in the villages, you kind of like, I don't want to jinx it, but it seems like no matter what you do in the villages, it's gonna be like $35 leads. It went up to like $50 like right after you said that, with all the different ad sets I duplicated. So I made a new different ad, which is the winning ad that I use for all my clients when they start and get its great results. I just took a voiceover off ChatGPT and put it in there, directly calling out to the villages, which is like a population of like 150,000. So it's gonna really talk to them. So that seems to be getting good results. I think we're at like $25 a lead after I think we have 4 leads now at 33, $35 a day. So that's encouraging and promising. It's just Orlando itself is an absolute, it's just an asshole of a situation. Like it's just such a hard thing to figure out, especially because this person that is probably just one of his friends decided to set something up for him quickly because he's all about speed. He's like, all right, even if you don't specialize in duck cleaning, just see if you can do it. So he grabs some ads, put them up there. Um, and it's like consistently, I think they have like maybe 20 leads now at $35 a lead consistently all the way through. I mean, this guy doesn't even know what he's doing, and he's like showing me up. It's like I don't know how to do what he's doing. Um, I don't really know what the best way to spend the 20 minutes is, but I think it's probably just me.
Go ahead, go ahead.
It's probably just me writing out everything that I've tried, what those things are, what the results were, giving it to you,
Yeah.
for you to kind of diagnose and make a new path for the future for things to try out.
When it comes to that guy, is that ad set and that ad on? Is that what you're saying? The one that you showed me that's getting $25 leads, is that because the one that his buddy said, is that on right now?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. It's the photo ad, right? It's like they have the three different creatives.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, so when you said that they said they wanted to try some of their stuff, what are they having you try of theirs? Visually show me.
I haven't tried it yet. So I think there's two different locations. The one that I'm talking about right now, I guess I crossed over the conversation a little bit. I think they're cool with me just doing whatever over here. But in Connecticut, we're going to do a split test with, and this is a location that I haven't even touched yet still. So I don't know the results. My thing could work like amazingly well, the best ever. We don't know yet.
Oh,
But he's thinking about split testing. But in Orlando, they're kind of like, all right, your thing isn't working, you know? And I'm doing all these tests with the same ad. I put a voice over one of them. I just can't seem to get it to pop. It's like $70 a lead minimum, no matter what I do with like the creative headline. The next test I think I'm gonna do is um like the exact same ad set and do what you said, where it's like you have your main creative. But the problem with that is I tried to do that. And when you do videos, you can't do three different videos the way that he has it. You can't do an identical setup the way he has it and just switch the photos with videos. It's like a completely different setting on Facebook. It's like, all right, pick your three photos. Oh, they're not photos. It's a completely really different setup then if you're gonna do videos. So that's kind of a thing where I can't directly split test my winning ad with two other bummers like you kind of suggested doing. Um, but
So to understand correctly, so you got the villages, it's very volatile. You're getting about $25 per lead. You're doing your thing your way. They're gonna go out to Connecticut. When they go out to Connecticut, we don't know if they're gonna allow you to do your thing or their strategy, but we'll cross that
no,
bridge.
no, we're in Connecticut. They're cool with doing my strategy. They also just want to split test their strategy. So they're
Right.
open to it. They also just want to test their stuff
What
for
what is
like branding purposes and
what is their strategy? Like what are they doing?
just different ads. They're like a big like their marketing budget's like 12 grand, like $3,000 a week. So they have a full-on fleet there. Like everyone knows what their trucks look like. They have a name for themselves in Connecticut and Massachusetts. So in terms of what they're thinking, they just want to split test to see if their ads can call out to the people that already know them with using the same colors, maybe having their truck on the ad, that type of thing. My thing is like shouldn't give a crap. My main job is to get you in the door. That's the only thing that matters. When you get there, they're gonna be like, oh no way, I've seen your trucks, if anything. Um, but at the end of the day, also I'm cool to split test as long as you're cool with me trying my way because I just want to try the way that I think is gonna get you the most results. And they're like, yeah, of course, like that's what we want to do too. So they're very cool. The Orlando thing is just a pain in the ass. Connecticut and Orlando, I think, are very different places. I'm from Canada, so I really don't know anything about anything. But Orlando caught me off guard. I'm like, why isn't this working? Oh, they have Universal Studios apparently. Like, sounds good. Um, so Connecticut, I just don't think Connecticut's the same place at all. Same with Massachusetts. I think they're completely there's no Disney World in Connecticut. Um, so I'm optimistic about Connecticut.
Yeah, let's
Um,
yeah, I feel like I'm caught up to speed. So yeah, why don't you just share your screen and kind of walk me through what you've done step by step with Orlando, and if anything jumps out at me, I'll let you know.
yeah. Okay. Oops. Okay, so yeah, this is them. So this is the one that they have set up. So do you even want to go through that one or the one that's getting $25 leads? Yeah, this is the one that's getting $25 leads.
I mean, I think I mean, if you want to run through it again, you can, but I think I'm familiar with what they're doing.
Okay, this is the one that I have up. All these ones, I gotta get more organized here because all these ones look identical from each other. Or start labeling like even at all. But it's kind of all in the creative section that changes. So this was the one I started with, just my same stuff that I'd start with everybody, and it works great. 249 wasn't working.
Really quick, Aman and Righteous, this is the creator I'm talking about that I feel like, and Keith as well, for home service that I feel like is worth testing. On the left-hand side, you have somebody doing the painting, doing the duct, doing the waterproofing, and then on the right-hand side, you have the before and after. This is what has worked across the board for camp. Again, it's worth something like it's worth like testing, I think, if you guys want to test it out. Anyway, sorry about that, Cam. Keep going.
No, you're good. Yeah, all these are pretty much the same. These two didn't. The villages worked fine. It was like I was getting 1 or 2 leads at $36, which was fine. I think, and then it raised and I turned it off. 249. That's something to keep in mind. Same ad copies I do for everybody else. Then I'm guessing I just duplicated the ad set and tried it again, which it looks like is true. Yeah, same thing. And then this time, I think I got kind of weird with something. It's coming soon. I don't know. Oh yeah, we changed the offer, so it went from 249 to 169.
Right.
Um, yeah, Orlando, same thing, 169. And I think I just duplicated the ad set for 169, and that means we're here. Then we changed it to 189, and then I replaced the ad copy because all the automations were 189, so that was my bad. And it's like a $20 difference. And he said, and the one that's getting $35 a lead, the offer is 189 for a duct cleaning. So I was like, all right, I think it's safe. I don't think I should keep the variables as small as possible, but in terms of like make or break, I don't think it's gonna be it.
Okay. We're just changing the price so far. That's the big.
Yeah, just the price, like $20. And then I also changed the ad creative to same thing as before, just a voiceover.
Okay.
And then that one is like the best Orlando creative, I think, but still, it ended up being like I think I got a lead at $25, and then I didn't get a second one until it was like, or I think then there was no leads, and it hit like 60. I think it hit $75 or something like that, and I just turned it off because I was like, all right, this is not a I've seen enough to know that this is probably not gonna be a winner, and I don't want to keep spending these guys' money.
Okay.
I think I've already spent $1,000. I'm getting them horrible results. Um, so yeah, that's kind of it for that. We can look at the specs of it all.
Wait,
Um,
so in terms of variables, we had the original, you duplicate that ad set, nothing, and then you're tweaking up the price point. What else have you tested? Is that it?
yeah, so and then there was other ones where so in the early stages, it was just Orlando, Broad, 45 miles, and then the villages for separate ad sets. So let's just stick to just Orlando. Um, and then that wasn't working. So then we excluded, I hopped on a call with David and the guys, and I was like, why? Like, where are the spots that you don't want to be in terms of like, and that was like Universal Studios, we cut them off. Disney World, some other parks aside from those two, where it's just hotels and like tourists. So we excluded those and then we ran that. Still shitty results, almost the same, maybe a bit better, but nothing to even really realize or notice. And then I switched out the lead forms a decent amount to exactly what their lead forms we're doing for theirs, because I was like, in terms of CPM and cost per unique link click and link clicks, my ads were performing way better. Like they were getting way more engagement. So I was like, okay, well then the difference is like when they click learn more, what's their experience? Why aren't they putting in the information? So I was like, maybe my lead form is too complicated and theirs is just like vroom, vroom, vroom. I looked at it. They have like triple the amount of questions. It's not as aesthetically pleasing. I have one question and my landing page is all the things that are included. And then theirs isn't even the offer. It's just get clean air, fill the questions below to get clean air. And it's like the most generic thing. So I was like, okay, I don't like it, but I will test it because that's what we're doing here. It's still the same result. It's like still just crap. Um, and then after that, I went back to my lead form because I was like, okay, that's probably not the make or break. And I genuinely like my lead form better. And in terms of don't trust your gut, trust the numbers, all my other clients have seen amazing results with that. So I was like, I don't think that's it. Um, so then I changed the location from exclusions and then to broad, whatever it was before, to exactly what their locations were because they were running 25 miles on central Orlando, Florida, and that's it. I was like, pretty weird, but they're getting $35 per click, so without any exclusions or anything. So um, that's kind of all I've done.
Okay.
That's kind of where we're at.
So have we tried their ad set, duplicating their ad set into your campaign and then switching your creative? Have you tried that?
Nope.
Okay.
How do you duplicate an ad set without tampering with their stuff? Because you know how sometimes if you want to scale, you just duplicate ad sets. Like if you want to ramp up 5 times, you should duplicate ad sets 5 times and then just kill the ones that aren't working. I just want to make sure because you said sometimes even when you duplicate a winning ad set, it could ruin the ad set that was winning. Like that's enough to throw things off. So is
Yeah.
there a way to duplicate their thing that's working without?
Yeah, but so let's go into their campaign and yep. And then go into their winning ad set. Is this it?
Yeah.
Okay, Control C. Now go to your campaign. Put a check mark next to that. Control V.
Put a check mark next to it.
No, you're good. Go ahead and close out. Yeah, you can close out. And then just Control V. Okay. Now go into the ad set that we just copied, wherever it is. You can probably close out of this page.
I think this is it.
Is that it?
Yeah. This is
Okay.
the one that,
So
yeah.
scroll down just to make sure that it's all of their settings.
$100 daily. Yeah, that's the one.
Age range, everything,
Yep.
placements. Everything is the same, yeah?
Mhm.
Okay, now go to your ad level. Okay. And what I would do, if so, let's scroll all the way up. Okay, so obviously change the title. Don't worry about that right now. Just keep scrolling down. Don't touch any of the stuff. Don't touch any of the stuff. Keep going. Okay, so how many how many video ads do you currently have that you like run for your clients that are like good? Like, do you have like one, do you have one that's like way up here and then everything else is down here? Or are all of your, or do you have ads where they're all kind of like good?
I have two, but the second one I need to do editing for. Like it's not just a copy and paste like this. It's not a generic ad. I have to custom make it, which
Okay.
shouldn't, it's not going to take me too long, but it is kind of a pain, but it's fine.
Okay, keep scrolling down. Keep scrolling down, keep going. And it's their form, right? This is their form. Is
Yeah.
it their form? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, keep scrolling down. Okay. So what do we do here? So
Like this form is ridiculous. I mean, it's working, so whatever, but they have like 6 questions, 9 if you include these, but it's working. So,
it's up to you how meticulous you want to be. If you want to fuck with the least amount of variables, what you would do is you would scroll up and you would just take those three creatives.
Mhm.
You scroll down and you just replace. So you know how they have three?
Yeah.
Delete one of them and then plug your two in, and that's it. And let's test it. That would be like level one of testing.
Okay, I looked at their specs, and this is the winning ad, the one with the claim offer below one, like by far. Like Facebook pumped it with money. This is the one that's gotten every single one of their leads.
Okay. So if the, but okay. So I think, okay. Then in that case, you would just put in your banger creative and then delete the other two of theirs.
But can you, the thing that I ran into before was, oh yeah, okay, I guess I could. So throw this one in, which
I
is the
mean,
winning ad.
what I would feel you should do is have three different creatives and just
Three
replace,
different video creators.
yeah, three different, they're doing three different photos, you do three different videos, even if they look similar. And like you said, if this is true, if this is accurate, Facebook will figure out how to allocate the budget to the right creative. And it's like I'm just trying not to fuck with the variables. I'm just trying to keep them as similar as possible.
Okay, so I shouldn't run it just like this. I should replace these three with 2 other videos.
That's what I would start off with. That's the first thing I'll
Okay.
do.
Okay, sweet. I have to go. Is there anything else you want to throw at me really quick?
So that's
Or
level two would be do the same thing, but then change out the form as well. So right now, don't change out the form. Level two or step two, change out the form.
okay. Okay.
Level three is the form, the creative, and the copy.
Okay. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep. We'll see
Sweet.
you.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Mr. Jeremy with a bad March coming in.
Still picked on.
Yeah.
I can show you the results from all that, and I mean, I don't know what there is to do with it, but I can show it to you. But I do have, I feel like some promising things that I feel good about, in the meantime. So
Yeah.
the first question I wanted to ask you though is, I don't know, I've always meant to ask you this, and then time moved, and so when I'm hearing you talking to people and you say funnel hack, and you've said the word to me a few times, can you tell me, because when I think of funnel hack, I think if I go to Facebook ads library, I take a look at the ads, I see what it's optimized, you know, so on and so forth, maybe do, and I know I figured you were going to go in there. So I just want to know, like, okay, step one is this, step two is this, step three is this, so I can put a process together in my head.
There's different processes. There's one process which is, so the idea is to spy on competition. That's the idea.
Right.
Spy on the market. And so one strategy is going to be literally what you just said. One strategy is going to be to go to Groupon because Groupon behaves very different. So step one, go to Groupon, search by this, and then this, and then this. So this is like one technique. This is another technique.
Can you show me again where this is at in there, Kaushik? Do
Yeah.
I have access to this one?
Should
course.
be under week 4.
4?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Week 4, scroll down here, how to find winning offers for your ad funnel. And you'll find a few different videos, and that should give you an idea. Like you'll kind of like pick up on a pattern by looking at all of them.
Okay. I don't want to waste everybody's time with that. I just wanted to make sure that in my head, what I'd really like to do is, like, you know, I uploaded to you a video today on Slack that showed you that that the thing that I like, you know, yeah, go into the replies down there. No, I think back action, general communication. Sorry. It's where you, me, and Keith were talking. Yeah. And I think I upload like there. So that's off my phone. That's off Instagram. I saved it because I knew I wanted to show it to you, but I was hoping I could find it on Facebook and kind of go, you know, like I am getting tons of med spa ads right now. So I'd love to just kind of, when I see these ads, I'd love to be able to go, okay, that's Bob's Med Spa Marketing. I want to track down Bob's. And sometimes when I go to try to find these ads, I can't find them in the ads library. And I'm just trying to figure out, you know, I guess just see what they're doing. If I'm missing anything that might help me, especially, you know, given what happened here the last couple of weeks of March.
Yeah.
So I'll go watch that stuff, and then maybe I'll have questions out of that. Like I said, I don't want to, that's something I should have gone and checked on myself.
That's okay. Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, the ad results changed, and here's what I did. I just wanted you to see this. So here's what happened.
Okay, so these are your ads for yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking CPM. Okay.
So what happened? There was a period, and I should
So
have taken some more time and gone back and there was like 1 week where just it wasn't even spending money. And maybe not a week, maybe 2 or 3 days. And then I was actually talking to you guys, and you're like, jump it up 10 times. That'll get it jumps. I couldn't get anything going. Nothing was working. And then so I'm like, what in the world is going on? And I went back in and looked at some ads. I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna, maybe I've just done something wrong. I clicked the switch off. So I started going back into some of these previous ad sets where I duplicated. And what I ended up doing was duplicating this one way back here, I think, which was from like November. But when you go into these and look at them, here's what I noticed. All of a sudden, it's saying my audience is only 1,600 to 1,800 people. And I thought, well, that's why it's not running. You know, that's not why I'm not getting any money. And then you get these warnings here saying, you know, oh, you're not going to get anything. You may get 0 leads. Something dropped. They changed something, because I in all of these, I was doing targeted, you know, toward estheticians and owners, and, you know, specific toward the people I felt like I was looking for. And I wish I could go back in time, but that was never that number, ever. I mean, there are probably 20,000 of those, and 20, 30, 40,000 of those in the United States alone. So I tried to see if I could, you know, I literally started back at the very beginning of all the med spa ads, and they all say that. But I would have seen this, because that
So you're sure that the 1600 to 1800 is a recent thing? It did not say that before. Back before it was like 20, 30, 40,000, whatever it was. You're
I
sure.
don't remember the exact numbers. I just know I always pay attention to these errors.
Okay.
That right there saying ad set may get 0 leads would have spooked me. This little part right here, that, when I'm putting together ads for my clients, if I see that, it spooks me. I'm like, I'm getting too specific. So I start backing things off to try and get the audience a little bit more into this yellow in here. And seeing down there where it says estimated daily results, I'm only reaching 397 to 1,000 people with 0 conversions. So all of that, and then so here's the ad set I did duplicate going all the way back to like November. And here's the weird thing is when I duplicated that this morning, this number was higher, and it was saying that I'd probably get somewhere between 3 to 5 conversions, and now it's saying 0. So I don't know what's happened. So what I did was this was the ad set where I had changed it over to my new ad, thinking maybe I've, got a little ad fatigue going on here. And all I did was I turned on their audience controls. I turned mine all off.
Okay.
Look at these ridiculous numbers. Saying I'm supposed to get 37 to 107, and it's saying now my audience size is between 200 and 240 million.
Yeah.
And it still wasn't really spending any money. And even what it did, I was getting like 1 link click a day.
This is when you did this
I
320.
did this last week.
Okay.
And
how
I
much-
literally went the whole week and got 2 link clicks. So today
How-
when I came in, I'm like, that's it. I turned this one off
How
and
much- How much has it spent?
Okay, so that one spent $200.
Oh wow.
It,
Jeez.
it just wasn't spending.
So this is the
I
one
got 2
where,
link clicks. That was my
It-
new ad.
so the difference here, wait, so this ad set, the new ad set, the variables that are different are you're using their targeting, and are you using your ad instead of a new ad?
Yeah, the new ad that I showed you last week.
Okay.
That you were like, looks good. Maybe switch this around, switch that around.
So you're not including your old ad.
Not in this ad set. I ran it all of last week.
Yeah.
And you can see I set it for $50 a day, and I wasn't even getting close to hitting it.
Yeah, so moving forward, Jeremy, just for the future, we want to focus on 3 times KPI. So feel free, I mean, bug me, reach out to me, but like, your cost per click is around 13 bucks. So 13, 20, I mean, I'm not spending any more. I'm shutting that off if that gets to like $30 a click,
Yeah,
you know?
I was just getting killed.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
today I came in, I let it run through the weekend, and I went back to I went through all my ad sets. And the one that I duplicated this morning was the very first one I ever ran for med spas. And it wasn't showing the warning about you're going to get 0 lead, all that. Now it shows it. But you can see it's actually spending some money, but it still didn't hit $50. I mean, it's been on since this morning. So I don't know what's happened. I don't know why I'm kind of getting.
Is this the new ad as in there, or is it the new ad?
I just put my old ad back on there. The one that says the cool thing about this ad is that,
Yeah. Okay.
So I don't know what's happened. And then, like I said, if you look at these numbers, the first 2 weeks of March and the second 2 weeks of March, they really don't tell the numbers, because that 315 through like 318 is where the most of the numbers are. But you can see I got, 87 link clicks. Well, it says I got 68. One of those weeks, I only got 2 link clicks the whole week,
That's the new ad set. That was the new ad. Okay. So I think
you can see my reach just went through the floor. Everything just stopped.
so the big change that we made that resulted in like really poor stuff is using their targeting, I would say. Right?
Well, no, because before I made any changes to any ad set or any ad,
Results started dipping.
yeah,
But
I had about a week and a half of nothing.
right, a week and a half of, well, can we go back to that data? Can we look at that really quick? what you're referencing? The
So
week.
I'm gonna guess, let's say it was this week to here, just these 2 weeks.
Oh, wow. Wait. So you spent. So you spent
Yeah,
320 and you're okay. So what I mean by that is, your costs are your book call is not good, but you're getting clicks at KPI. So the clicks were good. It's just the quality of the clicks were not good.
yeah.
Okay. And then what happened is then when we create the new ad set with their targeting, that's when you got the 2 clicks for $100 a
Yeah,
piece.
I let that go for a week
Yeah.
and
Okay.
nothing.
Let's
I
and
wish
so
I had
this
paid closer attention and really started writing down dates and times, and then we could really analyze it. But
it's okay. This
obviously,
this ad set right here, is this the one that was pumping out sales? The one that I'm looking at, the 320 spent, or is that nothing there?
this this was no, this I don't remember. This would have been, well, the results here are March 9th through March 22nd.
I guess what I'm asking is like, how like we had a hot streak in March, I
Yeah,
think, and
this would have been it right here.
this was it. Okay.
Yeah, and it just started petering out.
Okay.
So then, I made my new video ad with me
Let's
on
try let's try this. Let's try duplicating that ad set.
this one here.
Yep. And then let's inject. So wait, hold on. So click back. So okay, yeah, good.
Duplicate original.
Yep. And let's throw the new creative in there.
Okay.
So no, let's keep that as well. So let's keep the original and then let's throw in the new one. So what you can do is you can go to the other ad set, the one that's got the new one in it. You can click on the new ad. Yep.
This one.
Which is yeah, go and click on the ad level and control C that. And then after you control C it, now you go back to the ad set we just created, click on that ad set, not the ad, but the ad set. Yep. And then I can control V it. And so we got the old ad and we got the new one.
So, okay, so should just real quickly here before I forget, and
Yeah,
turn
shut that off.
on up here and turn this one off.
Yeah, let's go and turn that off. And then the new one, let's go and turn that on. And then, well, so turn on that. Yeah, turn that off. And then turn that on. And at the ad level, you got to turn on the other ad. Yep. Let's see what happens.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Okay, so funnel hack. I love that Cam's video you showed me. That gave me an idea for
It's
a
good.
spa video with like half of it showing them getting the treatment and then maybe a before and after on the facial. I think that could,
I think so too.
yeah. So, okay, let me stop this. Let's see, let me go back. Okay, so the video I showed you has been coming up on my Instagram and Facebook feed of that in Slack of that company, I forgot their name already. That is basically booking people using Facebook Messenger, which I don't really care to use Facebook Messenger. I just thought their system looked really good.
Can I ask you, what are you trying, like, what is I don't know if Aman is here, but what is the problem that you're trying to solve? I know that it doesn't seem like there's a problem, but like, what is the problem or the bottleneck or what is the reason for delving into it? I'm just curious. I'm not giving you a push. I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
well, for my own sake, like right now I'm working on 3 clients where I'm making calls for 3 people all of a sudden. It's just eating my day up. So, I'm trying to find a way to, really kick in some AI or something, because most of the people I'm talking to won't hire a virtual assistant and they're not going to be good salespeople. They're not going to do the job. They're not going to make the phone calls. So I'm going to turn into one of those agencies that came in for 3 months and in their mind gave them a bunch of leads that were junk. And that's not the case, but because when I call, lo and behold, sales happen.
When you
So
say you're calling, what do you mean? Like you're calling? Because I know we spoke about like you're working leads for like the first week. That was part of the offer.
mhm,
Are you saying you got 3 clients right now that you're in that phase of working the leads
yeah,
before you hand them
they
off?
all launched in that same time.
I see.
So I'm making, 20, 30 calls a day and then doing it again the next day and the next day. And then, so it just got, I can't remember if it showed up in my YouTube, suggested videos, but I found, I found a course, a guy named Justin Melendez. Um, I bought his $27 course on building the inbound AI bot. Works great. I've got it set up for myself. I've not made it live yet, but it works great. He expounded, he was the one I built the outbound bot with, and expounded beyond that, where now I know what I've got it set up where if it hits a voicemail, it'll keep trying for 2 or 3 days. But it won't book a call and it certainly won't take a deposit. The inbound one will book, but won't make an appointment. So when I saw this ad that's talking about, just instead of automated texts like, thanks for filling out the form, don't forget to, I wanted to try and make it conversational. Well, Go High Level has that conversational AI now, and it works into workflows. So as soon as they fill out the Facebook form, it starts talking to them more like a person. And so I have one client, a lady from Pennsylvania who was involved in a car accident. We paused her ads. So I got her permission. I said, while this is paused, I'm going to build out this AI chatbot and start testing it. So today I put myself in as a lead and I had conversations with it, trying to break it. And the darn thing every time would come back to, let's get you booked. Let's get you booked. And what's really cool is it does the same thing as this video shows. Here are some slots I've got available. Pick one, and I would pick it. The only thing I can't figure out how to do is it will not collect a deposit. The only thing I can have it do is send a link for them to go to the deposit, make the deposit, and then the ad agency or the owner would have to check to
Yeah.
make sure the deposit was paid. And if it's not, then you got to go in and clear out the appointment because, I'm putting on there, if you don't pay the deposit, we're not reserving your spot. What I like about this ad is it says it gives them the opportunity to put a card on hold rather than booking it. And I have never been able to figure out in Stripe how to just put a card on hold. So they'll just put their information in and it'll hold it instead of charging it. So that's something I'm going to explore unless somebody knows how to do that. But I'm just trying to find ways to, the ad basic, and I've had 2 clients now call me on it. Your ad said that the AI was going to take care of all this. I don't have any, so I'm trying to make good on what that ad said. And I think if I had this chat bot that was like chatting with them and going ahead and booking an appointment and at least directing them to put in the deposit, I think I could make some really good headway. And I would then turn around and make an ad like this one that actually shows it in action. And I think that's just, I really, as I was watching, I was like, man, if I was a med spa, I'd be calling them in a heartbeat.
So the bottleneck is, so right now you take on a client, you got to call them, do the discovery call, and then are you collecting a deposit or are you scheduling them in? What are you doing?
With the people I'm talking to,
Yeah.
I'm going through the whole process. I pull up the calendar, I book their date and time and put in the deposit.
Oh, so you collect a deposit too.
When I'm talking to their customers, yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what you're
I've
saying
made
is
a lot of sales. That's what I need to be doing. I'm
so
good.
okay. So the bottleneck for you is you take on a client, you got to do that. That's part of your offer. It's like, hey, Krishik, I can't manage like 10 clients at the same time doing this. What
Yeah.
if I set up an ad where people click on the ad, they have a conversation with the AI, and then the AI books them in, no human involved. That's what you're trying to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Aman, are you there by any chance, man?
I think he might be gone.
Yeah. The reason I'm saying this is like that's kind of what Aman was doing. He got people to click on an ad, they would opt in, and then the AI would text them, have a conversation with them, and try to get them to book. And I think he has like a really big one of the big clients like iCandy or something, and they would do that, but then they never got like they always had to get a human involved to collect the deposit, no matter what.
Maybe I could set it up where they book the appointment and then it does a whisper call to the med spa to, and it says, hey, you've got a go high level agent who, customer who needs you to collect their deposit. I could set that up in the workflow. There's a thing called the whisper call where if I get them booked into the appointment, once the calendar, the appointment is confirmed, the next action could be whisper call, which would call Kaushik, the med spa owner, and say, you have a lead who wants to talk to you. I explain to them. When you get that, that's somebody wanting to put a deposit down.
Yeah.
My only thought is just, I'm trying to make it literally where your phrase operational drag, I really like that, where I want it that way both for the med spa owner, but also the customer, where the customer doesn't have to say, oh, now I got to sit here and wait on the, or now I just booked my appointment. Now I got to pick up the phone and talk to this person. I'm just trying to find, there has to be a way where it's just like, and with this one lady in South Carolina, it is working. I mean, I think I told you she's got 13 appointments with deposits
And
out of
she's
39 leads.
She's
not,
calling leads. She's
I've been
working in
calling. Today was the first day she made phone calls and she booked 2 appointments. So
Okay.
I don't know. She told me, she said, I'm just in an area where there's a lot of old people, a lot of money and nothing to do. So that may be why that may be a simple reason why she's going nuts. But of the 13, 9 did it with nobody talking to them.
I would say,
Bank.
I mean, I would say it's interesting. It's funny. It's ironic, but you're you're in the same place me and Amar were in. It
Yeah.
took I kind of foresaw this. I was like, he's gonna get here too.
I keep looking down on the ground and I see a couple sets of footprints, and I don't know what size shoes you guys wear, but I think that I was like, is that Kaushik and Oman there?
It's us, man.
And then I see a place up here where it stops.
Yeah. That's where we just said, eh. So, but the thing is, like you and Aman have different, like I spoke about, you guys are different strengths. Um, and so some areas you're strong in versus him. And so like by the time we got here, there was a lot of frustration versus you. I'm not sensing a lot of frustration. It's just like a time thing. It's like,
Oh,
hey, I don't see how I can scale this up and keep my sanity. I can close more deals. I can take more people on. The system works. I'm not worried about the system. It works. It makes people money. The problem is time. So my suggestion to you is this. I think that what me and Aman did is very different than what you should do. What me and Aman did is we tried to bring AI in there. I think if you want to explore it, go explore it. But here's what I'll say. It ain't broken. And so for you, it's like, do you just charge more and bring on a setter? Do you do something else where you can, because what you're doing is working. It's just getting a little bit more time back.
yeah, I thought that was the next thing. Is I've done, Alpita had me looking a lot for a virtual assistant for her, and I eventually told her that's not my job. You got to do that. So, but I did find a couple of places where you can get somebody for 40 hours a month for $500.
Okay.
So, I think they're out of the Philippines, but right now, I'm only charging $1,000 a month for my service till I feel confident, like I got my feet underneath me. I could raise it to 1,500 and just go get me somebody and just say, listen, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get all the things I just told you, plus somebody to work for you 40 hours a month making phone calls. And, I've been thinking about that too.
I think that I'll be honest. I mean, with your background and sales training and all the stuff you did at AT&T, I think it could be a good fit for you. For me and Aman, it wasn't, but for you, I honestly, I'll tell you, here's why things that happen. You're gonna do the AI thing. You're gonna do the same thing we did. We spent 3, 4 months of our lives there before we were like, hey, it's just not working. The tech is not there yet. And I think you're gonna run into the same thing. I think you're gonna run into the same problem. You're gonna have to have somebody on the phone. So here's the thing. So imagine you set up the AI thing, right? You got 5 new clients, and you tell each of the 5 clients, hey, I'm gonna work the leads for the first week. What's going to happen is you're going to set up the AI thing, whatever, but you're still going to have to call them to collect the deposit. That's not going to go away. You might be, so right now, maybe you can maximize 3 new clients at the same time. Eventually, you'll get to a place where you can maximize 6 clients. But between that and doing sales calls, you're going to pull your hair out. The problem's not going to go away. Your capacity to do work might increase if you're lucky, but it's not going to solve the problem. You're putting a band-aid over it. You're putting a band-aid over the problem. You're not solving it.
Yeah, that's what I feel like. I just feel like I'm I've only got 6 clients and I'm running out of daylight to do this work.
Yeah.
I'm really only making phone calls on 3 of them.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this guy in New Jersey is going to start squawking, because the big reason he hired me was he was so enamored with the AI stuff. And I explained to him on all the calls, I'm just developing it, it's not ready. And he's like, you just let me know when it is. So I'm getting closer and closer. And I know Go High Level is going to offer an outbound voice agent soon. And if they do, I have a feeling that it will allow you to connect directly into a calendar and then you can book. Right now, I'm just using Go High Level and Vappy. So
Yeah.
I can't connect the calendar from Go High Level to Vappy. I think you need another one in there, maybe like a make.com or something like that to make that happen. But I feel like I'm just right on the edge of busting through, not because I know more than you or Amon. It's just, the technology is 3 or 4 months down the road further.
Yeah.
And people are figuring things out, and Go High Level is coming out with more stuff. So I feel like I'm getting close. I mean, I can show you just real quick.
Yeah.
So let me share. So here's how, this is the lady in Pennsylvania. Okay, so here's how her opportunities work. She has forms submitted where they went through, they submitted the form, they saw the calendar and the deposit stopped. So I still get their information. Appointment with deposit made. This is an appointment where she talked to somebody and made it, so we know the difference, if it's working or not. Here's who she's following up with, here's who she's lost. So the automation follows the same thing. So this is what I figured out today and tested and worked. When they submit the Facebook lead form, it creates the opportunity, sends her a text, and then goes into the conversational AI. And this is where you create everything. So I, built out the personality, told it what it's supposed to do, gave it all of its additional instructions, what it's not supposed to do, what it is supposed to do and say, maximum messages, timeout after 24 hours. I want it to do in texting, but you can also set it up here to do Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp. And then you've got these branches you set up. So let's say somebody does start chatting with the AI bot and they book an appointment. It'll remove them out of the form submitted and create the new opportunity where they go into appointment with deposit made. She gets a text. The text is telling her, hey, they made the appointment, but now you need to go check to see if they did the deposit. And then it tells the customer one more time, please go pay your deposit. If they don't talk to the AI, it goes over here and I just add them into the regular nurturing texts. If they don't book it, if they talk to AI but don't book an appointment, then they go in here and go into the regular nurturing texts. So I tested it every which way. It all works. It all does what it's supposed to do. It's very good in that, it doesn't let them get away with just, you got to talk. And then it's trained on her website and her offers, so it can ask all the, if they start asking questions, it'll answer it. So I feel really good about that. But if there was some way, and maybe it's just not legal, in the texting to collect credit card information, maybe that's why it's not doing that. But if somebody would create a way for me in the text to just let them put the information in and it goes over, charges it through Stripe and says, you're all taken care of. See you then. I mean, that's it. It's self-contained and it would work. But even the video I sent to you, they don't do that. It goes through Messenger. And then when it's time for them to put the deposit, it has to go over to a funnel and do it. So I'm just wondering if maybe through messaging or texting, it's not secure enough and you can't do it. But if I can ever figure out a way to keep that all self-contained, where the customer never has to leave, never has to check anything, they just do it all in one spot, I think I'd have a winner. Because you're catching them while they're hot. You're not asking them to do any other work. You're not asking them to go any place else. It's just all right here.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. Yeah, I feel like the reason they have you go off of the text is because of the complexity of the calendar.
Yeah.
Like if you just text over, hey, which one of these 3 dates work, and it might not work, and then you just spend 20 texts going back and forth trying to get the schedule.
Well, I did, when it was texting to me, it would give me 3 or 4 dates, and I always would pick whatever date. Sometimes I would say, never mind, I want to change it to this date, and it would. And then I'd go into Go High Level and it's in the calendar.
Hmm.
So it was doing a great job. It just won't let you cancel or reschedule. So if you've already got something done, you can't cancel it, you can't reschedule it, you have to call her. But it works. I mean, it's really quite fascinating to watch and to think about how intelligent that thing has to be, or whoever created it is. But it was doing everything except the deposit.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, so
Well-
yeah, and I'd love to get the AI voices to do the same. If I can do that,
When are you?
I'll have a pretty cool hook. But I do think in the meantime, my best option is probably to find a handful, find a place I trust to give me good VAs
Yeah.
and just
How?
assign a
When,
VA for each client.
when are you testing this AI thing? Are you going to be? It sounds like you already built it out for one of the clients, and you're kind of doing a little bit of testing. When are you rolling it out? Are you going to be rolling it out?
Yeah, she was in the hospital for 3 or 4 days. She just got home today. Somebody rear-ended her, and I guess it was pretty serious. So she was in the hospital from Friday through most of today, and got home and told me she's home. So I'm going to give her a day to kind of get reacclimated. But once she's up and running, and it was nice because she was paused so I could play around. I'm just gonna. I've told her. She says it sounds cool, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do it.
So I would say step one is see if it works. Step two is if it does work, you know, the true way is is to like stress test it by seeing if you can take 3, 4 clients and do it at the same time like you're doing right now,
Yeah.
and see if it does like reduce your workload. And then if it does, then maybe you have one internal hire that can manage like 10, 20 clients. And if it doesn't, well, then you go back to doing what you're doing right now, but you're gonna have more VAs. Typically, one VA can handle like I think 3 clients.
Yeah, I
So
think I would have to have. I Yeah, if I had one VA, he'd probably have to handle 3 people for me on the phone
we're
call.
calling. But if you get the AI thing to work, you might have one VA handle like 10, 20 clients.
Right. What else was I gonna? Oh, the cost of what I do will also go up through Go High Level, because when you do these phone calls and you do the text, there's on the phone calls there's a rate per minute charge. On the texts, you either upgrade to unlimited, where you can do as many as you want for $97 a month, or you pay 2 cents for every text. So there will be a threshold I have to watch there.
Yeah.
And I'm betting that eventually they'll put some sort of unlimited plan on the voice calling. But right now they're not. It costs you every time they make, just like if you made a phone call out of there, they charge you a rate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was expensive for us. Yeah.
yeah, so I just need to keep an eye on that and watch my receipts. But if the texting thing works, I'll gladly pay $100 a month extra, and that covers me and all my sub accounts. Or I just charge them 100. I guess it's $100 per sub account. So I'll just tell them, now I'm 1250 instead of 1,000 or whatever. But I have strongly been thinking about for the last couple of weeks. Like I really think us calling somebody who knows what they're doing really works.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting results for them. But I can't do it all the time. I'm not able to pay attention to the ads or do the ad work or the funnel hacking and all the stuff I'm supposed to be doing, because I'm sitting here back to my days when I was 20 years old at AT&T calling people while they're eating dinner and getting cussed at. I don't want to do that. So that's why I left AT&T, but they keep dragging me back. So yeah. Anyway,
Well,
I think that's all I had for you. The ad thing is my biggest concern. That's just, but I'm thankful for you showing me what you showed me tonight, and we'll give it a shot and see what happens.
Yep. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed.
Okay.
Keep us posted. Keep us posted.
Thanks.
Yep. Anything else, Jeremy?
That's
Before we
it.
move on?
You
Okay.
all have a good night.
See ya.
See ya.
Riviera, Woji, and then Righteous we got left. Mr. Riviera, are you there? There he is.
Hey.
He's on where are you? Uranus?
Messy room today, I'll tell you that. Well, spring cleaning.
Yeah, man. So what's going on?
Dude, I had the weirdest thing happen right now.
What?
And it has something to do with the hooks and everything, so it's relative. But eh, so I don't know if you saw, like, I was updating during the call. I'm sure you were busy, with this checking calls, but if you want to read that for a little bit before I get into it.
Hooked a business owner that will be ready in 30 minutes to take on the lead. I let business owner know about this lead's visual display request. He said yes, that he's willing to work the lead. Call lead in 25, see if he's ready. Other lead said call back Wednesday, didn't seem as hot. My business owner doesn't get back to me. Gonna hopefully hook another business owner hand off. Okay, I do have something on this. So before I forget, I do want to harp on
Yeah,
this
go on.
for you guys. But yeah, go ahead.
Oh, you want me to go first? Okay. So basically he seemed down, and I basically called the lead. Lead didn't get back to me. The lead did tell me a preferred time that didn't really fall into the exact time, so it is what it is, but I'll probably just do my follow-ups. But so, I essentially couldn't pass over the lead. I thought I was texting this guy named Freddie, the business owner, and I was texting him, hey, first I texted him like I basically sent the form that they fill out and I said, hey, Freddie, it's Daniel. I'll call the lead and send him over if you're ready. I attached some of his answers from our form. Let me know if you're ready to speak with him. His name is Mehdi. And so, I was just trying to see if he's available so that way I could call the lead, make sure he's available, do the thing. And then, he says, call me. So I'm thinking, oh, he's ready. He's ready to go, right? So I say, okay, I'll give you the lead a ring, and if he is available, I'll connect him over to you. And he says, okay, but call me, please. So I'm like, okay, damn, all right, he's ready to rock and roll, right? And I texted him, I'm like, try calling him a few times and left voicemail. I'll follow up when he gets back to me or just send you a whole new lead the next one we generate. I will keep you posted. Just because, the lead didn't answer and all that. And he says, can you call me? And I'm like, all right, this guy really wants to chat it up again. We'll see I call him, dude, this ain't even Freddie. This is another business owner and he's down, dude. He was looking at that. He's like, oh, damn, they fill out a form. And I'm like, who? Wait. Who? Your name's not Freddie? He's like, I'm Dewey. I'm like, dude, I got the fucking names mixed up, dude. I sent all this shit to another business owner. And then he's down. He's like, so break it down. Like, what are you doing around there? And I was just like, dude, and I just like from the top of the dome, like I got my script like halfway through so I could hit certain things, but it was just he's like, dude, I'll work any radius. I'll fucking drive out to LA. I get my ass to San Diego if you got a fucking job. I'm like, he's even better than better quality than the Freddie. I'm like, all right, I'm rock with Dewey, dude. So yeah, I told him the whole thing to break it down, and he seems down. So I have another hook. So I have two hooks. That guy Freddie. So I properly texted Freddie right after, texted him over, but now I got this guy Dewey from this happenstance weird thing, and he didn't even question shit like, oh, he's like, I actually used leverage that. I was like, actually, I'm talking to a lot of business owners, and this is how it works. Like, and at the end of the week, I'm gonna pick who gets the county. So
It's like you have this copy and paste message, you texting all the hoes in the phone book, and they're like, "Oh, my bad, my bad, Stephanie."
yeah, that's dude. I was tripping up for the first minute. I was just trying to process what was
And then
happening.
Stephanie hits you up, Riviera, like, "Damn, Riviera, I know you had hoes like that."
Yeah, and then Stephanie's talking to me like,
What do you mean? Did I like that movie? We didn't even watch that movie last weekend. You're like, oh.
Oh my god.
dude, this guy's like not even. I did look him up, and I did at some point call him maybe, and then I forgot how I was looking through call logs trying to see who's who. I should have done better matching up to the site, but yeah, I'll know for next time. But Jesus, like I just didn't expect that to get two hooks. And then I have a third one. She says call her in like half an hour or so. She didn't seem like she just like I really need to get to post office. It's about to be 5 and just call me at 6 or whatever. So hopefully I could get a third hook today. But that's my goal is like 3 hooks and then just kind of, see if I can hit those old leads up, see if I can get them warmed up. And then if not, maybe just run some new ads. But that's where I'm at. I just funny.
Okay, cool. Good stuff, man. So I would say, so one thing, Righteous, I don't know, Aman, if you're there, but there's something that, so me and Wilgie have been like, starting the process of getting him hooks. And so I kind of tweaked the script for him, and so this is going to be applicable for all you guys. So I still have to write the script. I still have to tweak it. My plan, honestly, was to get it done today. I didn't get a chance to, but I think we have a good starting place with Will G. Here's a script. Okay, so here's what it is. So this is what I added with Will G. So Will G basically took your script, Riviera, and what we did is we just added these 3 stipulations. So where is it?
So I didn't have the time to add the third one yet, by
Okay,
the way.
that's fine.
But yeah, the first 2 are on.
So the idea here is to prevent things like that happening, Riviera, of like them not working the leads, them not being responsive. Righteous in your case, I think it was you, Righteous, or yeah, we're like, hey, look, guys, sounds good. Let me close the deal first, and then I'll get back to you, right? So we want to prevent all that. So again, I have to still type this out, but this is something I was kind of just telling Will G on a voice note, and then Will G just typed it out. We're gonna refine it, but something like this. So you get through everything, and at the very end, it's like, okay, one more thing, just so you know. I'm offering this trial to 2 or 3 companies in the area, but at the end of the week, I'm going to choose a partner to work exclusively. So there are really 3 important things I need you to remember. Can you write them down? Again, I will rephrase this and type this up. But like, I don't know that I want to lead with this of like, hey, I'm doing a trial for 2 or 3 business owners in that location. But I do like this, which is like, all right, so really quick, one last thing. We have 3 really important stipulations for a trial to work really efficient. Do you have something to write really quick? They're gonna say yes or no. If they say yeah, like, okay, great. Let me know when you're ready. If they say no, you say, okay, don't worry about it. It's really simple. Can you memorize this? I'll just like double check, make sure you understand this is really important. They say, yeah. What I'm doing here is I'm making sure they get it. I'm making sure it's that little psychological warfare right there just to make sure that they get it. Because I'm saying, hey, do you got something to write on? I haven't asked them to write on anything up until now. But now they're like, oh shit, this is important. So I'm like, okay, so the first stipulation is speed to lead. And so what that means is that the moment I get, again, I'll tweak this, but this is what we'll just. So when I send a lead, I need you to jump on it quickly during those first 2 or 3, during those first 2 or 3 leads call. If I call and text and you don't get a response to you within the first few tries, and if I feel like you don't know how to close them, then unfortunately I have to give the leads over to the next business owner. If I don't hear back, I may send it elsewhere. With that in mind, can I count on you to be responsive when a lead comes in? Again, I will tweak this up, but do you guys understand the premise? The premise is, hey, so the first stipulation, again, I'm going to kind of go off top of my. So stipulation 1 is speed to lead. And so what that means is that the moment the lead comes in, they're hot, they're heavy, they're ready to go. We talk to them, warm them up, and then we want to get them right over to you. So what that simply means is that if you don't work if you're not right there, then and there to work the lead, and if we don't see professionalism there, unfortunately, we can't bet on you. And so we'll have to, cease the trial and, basically get the lead over to somebody else. Is that fair? Are you going to be able to prioritize this? That's the idea. Hey, I need you to prioritize this. You can't go like literally what you just talked about, Riviera. The idea is to squash that. Right.
I have a little bit of, so maybe I didn't update my last script, but I actually have a little bit of this talk tracks just from the times we've talked over previous check-in calls. But this sounds more fleshed out, so I definitely give this a look and see how.
Yeah, you did. You did have like some of it already. So I
Okay.
just like added some more information that Kushi gave me. But you already had a pretty good like it was pretty solid.
But I like
You
how
had the first one that I wrote down. You had it. You already had that.
uh-huh.
And then the second one I already had to add.
The second
Yeah.
one is, so they're like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I'm cool, Riviera. Okay, here's so in terms of stipulation number 2, on your trust, we're doing this because we obviously are a business and not in a charity. We want to earn your trust and respect. My expectation is that by the end of the week, I give you the leads. We may hop on a call where we discuss partnering, going over details. Of course, if you agree, we'll 300. If not, that's okay too. I don't expect to give you an absolute, but so basically here again, I'll rephrase this, but the idea is, and Wilji, you're doing good. Don't hear it like I'm saying you did a terrible job. I just think the word phrasing has to be dialed in. It's super crucial. This is like the part where you make the offer of the money. If you don't hit it right, all else fails. So I'll probably say, so the idea behind, so stipulation 1 is they respect you where they're working the leads, they're not leaving on red, they're prioritizing it, and they have to be professional. The other thing is they have to be professional, right? So we're telling them, hey, if you don't look like you know how to sell, like I'm not going to work with you. The idea behind the second stipulation is that we need them to give us a yes or no by the end, whether they close or not. So I would say something along the lines, okay, so stipulation 2 is regarding is just a commitment. We're looking for a commitment. So what that means is over the course of the next 3 days, we're gonna get you 1 to 2 leads a day. We're gonna get you 3 total. Now, I don't know what's gonna happen. This is really important. I don't know what's gonna happen. You might get some estimates, you might get some closes. Regardless, here in 4 days on Thursday, what we need to do, what we're looking for is we're looking for a simple commitment. We're looking for you to have we're looking to have a conversation where you give us a simple yes or a no. You are under no obligation or stipulation to give us a yes, but we are looking for a commitment. So again, you might get estimates, you might close deals, you might clash. We don't know, but we are looking for a commitment on that day. Is that fair? They say yeah. So this is going to squash whatever's happened with Alma. It's going to squash whatever's happened with you, Righteous, right? That's the idea. Okay. And then the third one that we're going to add in there is this one is for, will you remind me what was the third one? Do you remember?
Wait, no, I don't remember anymore. Give me.
So one is okay. Here's the third one. The third one is to put the fear of God to them that if they don't give you a yes, you're going to give the leads to somebody else. Okay. So the third one is this. So stipulation number 3 is this, is that while we do the trial, the leads are exclusively yours and they will continue to be yours. However, we are open and available. Again, I'll phrase this, but we are, if in the event that things don't move forward with us or things don't work out, those leads will now be free agents that we can shop out to other business owners. I hope you understand that's fair. At the end of the day, if you and I don't move forward, don't work together, well, then it doesn't really make sense us to invest our time, dollars, energy, and it doesn't really go anywhere. We're doing this as good faith. We're putting skin in the game for you to show you what we can do here. But again, if things don't work out, again, I hope you understand we will be shopping those leads out to other business owners. Are you okay with that? They say, yeah. Boom. Now you've crushed you fucked them all the way up. So what's going to happen is now they have to answer the calls. They can't ghost you. They have to be respectful towards you and like be on their ass. They have to give you an answer by the end of the trial. And sorry, I'm a brain fart right now. And the third thing that I just said was, oh, now they're gonna say yes to, they're gonna be more likely to say yes to you, because if they don't, they've already spoken to the lead, they've already usually given an estimate, they've driven out to the house. Now they're gonna have FOMO, which is like, fuck, if I don't say yes to Riviera today on this call, he's gonna give the lead to somebody else. So I've seen some of you guys try to do these things on the sales call. You don't do them on the sales call. You handle it before the sales call. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to tweak up the sales call script as well, where at the beginning of the sales call, it's going to be something along the lines of setting expectations like, hey guys, so hey doctor, or hey John, and then the purpose of this call is da 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 da. Are you good with that? They say, yeah. Okay. So just to be clear, here's what the expectation is. Again, I'm going to go through a few things and I'm just looking for a simple yes or no. And if you say, yeah, man, we're just going to keep the party rock and rolling. You already know the drill. You already know everything. We've already gone over price. We've gone over everything. Now, in the event that you say no, that's totally cool, man. As we spoke about on our very first call, we're just going to take these, I'll say in a nice way, but like, that's totally cool. And, we'll just part ways as friends and we'll be shopping these leads out to somebody else. So we're putting fear of God into them, into the very beginning of the sales call. We're not doing it at the very end, handling objection like I've seen some of you guys do. We do it on the very beginning of the sales call. And so now what's going to happen is they're going to sit up tight. They're going to listen to you. They're going to treat you correctly. They're going to treat you with respect. You go through the sales call and then at the very end, you make the offer. They're more likely going to go through it. They're not going to give you any of that bullshit. So those are some of the tweaks that we're going to be making. Questions, comments, concerns, thoughts. Does that make sense? I know I went over a lot. Again, I'll type this out.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think I just had a very basic version of what you said, but I think, yeah, if it sounds like these stipulations are like more fleshed out, so I definitely want to incorporate this somehow. But yeah, if I can knock out all that stuff so I don't have to deal with it bubbling to the surface later and they're down for it and they commit to all those things, my terms kind of, I think it'd be less contentious of a relationship later down the line. So yeah, I'm all for it.
The way I like to think about it is like, I want to, before I start the meat and potatoes of the sales call, I want to know, are they closable? I don't want to get to the very end. It's like a partner spouse thing. I don't want to get to the end. They're like, hey, let me close somebody first and then I'll get back. I don't want to deal with any of that shit. I'm going to prevent them from even giving me any of that so that the sales call is just about being emotional with them. So yeah. Anyways, Riviera, going back, I guess, like, what did you want to chop it up about?
Yeah, so So I've been dealing with kind of this too. Like it's been coming up, and I don't know if it's a fluke or it's been a couple times back when I did the HVAC for free to fee. This has came up before. And, I just do this part of the script where it says, hey, I have a website in Orange County that's basically producing leads every week and whatever. I just roll with it. I think 60, 70% of the time, they don't really say shit, 80%, I'd say 80, 90%. But there's like a 10%, and it's happened maybe three to four hook calls where they say, what's a site? And I can literally hear them start typing once. Tell them just like what I do is I just kind of say, well, the name of the company is Sunview Home Solutions. And pretty much you may not see the site. We're running it through Facebook. So we just basically run Facebook, and I do that. I don't want to expose that. I don't want to even get into that, but I know they're on me. They're literally URL searching my shit. So I'm like, I need to at least hit them with something. And so far, there's been no fuss, and I've
Just-
gotten some hooks from people. So you
just
think
build
that's fine to say?
No, just build it out. So Will G, Righteous, Rivera. I haven't heard this from Righteous or Elman yet.
Mhm.
Only heard this from you, but if you guys keep getting this, then just build it out. Just build out a page.
Build out a
Just
site.
build it out. Yeah, build out a
Okay.
site and make it fucking beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah, do that. There you go. Don't. I mean, it's so if somebody look, if you lead with like, hey, I've got this thing that's pumping out whatever,
Mhm.
and they don't expect you to say what's the website, or they don't expect you to ask them to ask you. And the moment you say it, and they have something absolutely beautiful, now it's going to build even more trust,
Mhm.
right? That's going to build so much trust.
Mhm. Yeah, I think you're right. I think I need to build that shit.
Yeah. Build it out. Build it out.
It just, yeah, it's been happening enough to where I'm like, you know what? Yeah. Because I don't want to lead with Facebook ads. I don't want to lead. The website just sounds better. Yeah, if I could just build a site that just kind of, because then if all the things I say and they're really eating it up, which they usually do, because it's easier to hook a business owner than to do the other stuff, right?
And here's a
Um,
tweak. Here's a tweak, by the way. And so I do this as well, is like I literally just have like this page and I just like come in here, I tweak it from time to time. Um, I'll just come in here, I'll like tweak up the date. So you can have something where you just tweak up the location. So you have your home page and then you tweak up the location so that by the time that business owner goes to the site, Tampa, Florida, whatever, it says attention, whatever. So now it's like really refined. Does that make sense? So now they know it's not bullshit and it's like, oh my God,
Yeah, it will say something locational. What should the domain? Because my company is called Sunview Home Solutions. Should I just do the domain in that, or should I future proof it and try to do some type of other domain, like get your beautiful home now? I know some people like do something like for my dentist, I do get your beautiful smile now as one domain, and then any client that I onboard or get as a dentist, I just give them that same thing, and I just change like
Yeah.
the slash where the page is like so that everyone just keeps this basically all the dentists have the same domain. So I'm not too
Yeah.
sure if there's like a way to do that for home service, but
Yeah. So that like what Mason just put inside the chat, like that might be the smart move so that you maybe like so that you don't forget. So you literally have your domain slash Florida, domain slash whatever Florida, and you just tweak it. And so now you don't have to worry about it again. And so you have a few of these pages already created.
no, that's smart. And then changing the slash to be the name of this whatever county or the city. Oh dang, that's a new level that I've never thought of.
And then if you go to and here's you can depending on how savvy they are, what you can say is like what we do is we build this out and we have one per location. So if you change the slash Mr. Business Owner from Florida to Boca Raton, if you can you type that in really quick? Yep. So that's our client out in Boca Raton. So now they know what you're saying is true. So they can like, holy shit, this guy's working with all these locations. It's already built out. And you can customize. I'm going super deep here. Like, I don't know if I need to spend all this time, but like, let's say you're talking to a business owner in Florida, and then you're trying and like Miami, Florida, and you have somebody in Boca Raton, Florida. So you can like tweak it up to say Boca Raton, and then maybe you can even have like a video of a business owner where it really shows like, oh, I have a face of, yeah, that's the guy that we have in Boca Raton. He's got that market. I can't give it to you. So now you are on a call, you give them this link and say, hey, yeah, we have got leads coming in. We're trying to get a business owner here. Also, if you come here, you'll notice that we already have a business owner who's taking up this location. So if you want to be like this business owner, you need to commit and give us a yes. You see that kind of like the psychological.
This would be crazy, man. So if they ask that question, it's almost a better thing now. It's almost like it's almost even better because you could just flip it on them and just be like, yeah, and then you could get more credibility. Because I notice when they ask that, they say it very like angst, like there's angst or anxiety when they say it. So I feel like it comes from a place of, whoa, 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 slow down. Like what website? Like what's going on? Like show me that. So I
Yeah.
feel like that there's an apprehension when that comes off because there's like a tonality switch. And then most of the time when I say the Facebook thing, I can roll with it, but I feel like, yeah, this would just totally kind of eliminate more doubt than they probably have. Just because I'm going like peekaboo, I'm not a lead, I'm an actual owner of an agency. Like, so they might just there's like a sometimes some people get like little like a wall comes up. Very rarely, but
Yeah. No.
no, I'm down to start making this too.
Cool. What else do you want to go over, Rivera?
Um, that's pretty much it. Yeah, my client for the window and door in the valley, he's weird. Like I'll duplicate something on the third duplicate, he'll get all the leads for like the week in like 2 days, and then they'll kind of die and I have to do that. And then when I ran it in Orange County, the same ad, yeah, I got $30 a lead. So technically actually getting more leads than him right now. So I don't know if I have to find a new winning ad or if I have to maybe make a tweak to the winning ad, but
What the guy that is your client right now, what is his cost per lead?
I mean, last week it was like in total for last week is a good like data point is like he got $19 a lead.
Okay. What's I
And
guess
so
like, what's
$20 a day.
what's average for him?
Average, if I were to look at, let me just pull it up. Yeah, if I just want to look at the month, give me 1 second.
I guess what I'm getting at is like what is baseline so we know what to compare to. Because it's like if he's getting 19 and you're in 30 in another location, I think that's pretty healthy actually. It's like only $10
I
more.
mean, that $28 cost per lead if I were to look at to like this whole month, like March. He
So
was like at, 28 bucks a lead.
gotcha. And the place that you just went to today or the other day recently now for your hooks, you're at $30.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fucking great, dude. That's fantastic. That's
I
fantastic.
just feel like it's a little sporadic. Like I'm not used to it. I'm used to dental where it's like a little like a lead a day or two leads a day. But this one it will be like 7 leads in 1 day and then the next 4 days nothing. But like when you look at the week or the monthly average, then the data almost looks fine. So it just trips me up a little bit because sometimes there'll be days where it's just slow, but I should recognize like, oh, he had a day that pumped like hell. So yeah, it's like one of those weird things. I don't know why Facebook does that, but it's like
Yeah. Well,
I just have to get used to the flow, but
yeah. Yeah, no, keep rocking and doing what you're doing. I would say, yeah. I mean, I don't think this is called for right now, but like a more advanced strategy might be you let it run for like 3 days, you prematurely kill it, and then launch another one just to keep the cost down. Again, not something you need to do right now, but something that we can maybe look into down the road. If we keep seeing over and over and over again, this happens, but I think you need a lot more data to confirm.
yeah, that is so weird. Like it really messes me up because it's like, it's like the whole caption is last day, and then it's like, we need to sell 100 doors by the 28th, and it's already like the 31st, and I get leads on the 31st. It's so weird. It's like I it's just like the information the ad doesn't even match up to what the whole copy is. And but I try to what I do is like I'm thinking, okay, maybe that's its Achilles heel. Maybe there's something better if I say 31st or if I do something like that or I make it more accurate. And dude, they keep clicking on the thing that's like more inaccurate to the timing and the I'm like, dude, I'm like, I guess I'll just keep letting that shit run, but it just makes no sense to me why they click on that when it shows like they're past like the basically the deal's over.
Facebook,
But
that's Facebook for you. So, but hey, man, it's working, so can't complain, you know?
yeah, I just yeah, I'll just stay on it. Just try to get a pulse on it all the time. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for me on the big stuff. I'll probably like after this call just hop up, try to get that girl Lynette. She seemed pretty interested and yeah, she just had to run a big errand with the time crunch, so but she did seem very interested in it. So I'll give her a call and see if I can get a third hook. And now I just
Okay.
need to spin up the
And
leads.
and is it 3 hooks in one location, or what are you doing exactly? Like,
Just
are you-
Orange County. Yeah, just running $20 a day, Orange County, just because it's my county. I feel like it's easier for the personal number, the 562 area code. People, yeah, I feel like the pickup rate improved. I mean,
No, what I'm asking is like, are you trying to do 3 hooks in a particular location, then pick one out of the 3 to work with, or are you like trying to work with all 3? Like, what's kind of the strategy behind the 3 different business owners that you've hooked?
just to feel them out, right? And then just get one that's the cream of the crop and give them it and then have a backup like redundancy. That's a big one that I kept having issues with the HVAC niche is like I got a hook and then I try to hook another person and that person it was hard to get that second. So I think and then I get anxious if the guy ends up ghosting the business owner and then I don't have someone to give it to. So I'm just trying to get rid of the anxiety for later and just try to set myself up now where I'll have new anxiety of having the pressure of servicing them. But I guess I really want to pick the number one and then have a number two.
What's the difference? Like, is there any difference between doing HVAC and then doors and windows for you now, or you feel like it's the same, or
Big difference. Well, it could have been a locational thing, but running it in Boston, dude, I was getting cursed out, like straight up. Like I had people cursing me out. Boston people are crazy, man. They're like New Yorkers on a whole other level with an accent. But I don't know. They just would. He's like, one guy was like, "All right, show me your site and I'll show you mine, and we'll see who spins up more. How about that? You can type in my site right now, Boston Boilers, Boston Boilers. Put that shit in right now, and we'll see. We'll see who matches up. Let's see whose chest comes out bigger." And I'm like, damn, like, dude, I get on another call and the guy was just like that. Like, it's almost like they're all brothers in the same family. I was like, dude, no way. There's a whole different cities in near Boston and stuff I was hitting up. And dude, I don't know. Maybe those people are cranky, man. I know that's a kind of, I shouldn't say that, it's a stereotype, but when you combine home service contract people and Boston, it's like Super Saiyan 4 or something. But I mean, when I talk to these guys, they're super relaxed, lax, like they're chill, like, and if they give me any pushback, it's usually they're just inquisitive, like curious and maybe a little apprehensive, but then I'm able to cool it,
think it's a niche thing, or do you think it's a location thing?
I think a bit of both. HVAC people are a little rough around the edges, just from my experience running Northridge HVAC in different sites, locations, and then maybe location too, just because Boston, but I don't know. I barely tapping into window and door here today with the hooks, so I'll have to get you guys updated on that. But I feel like a little more lax. Like, yeah.
I mean, overall, everything sounds like it's running a lot better. So far, good.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. Okay, cool. What else, Rivera?
That'll be it for me. I'll probably hop off here and give that person a call just to have a third one for redundancy, and then yes, see what goes from there.
Well, man, I smell a close this week from you. Okay, I smell one. Let's get a close. Let's bring home the trophy this week.
For sure. All right, I'll see you guys. Okay.
Peace. Okay, Wilgie, would you want to go?
Yes. It was really about like the process that you guys go through for, whenever you're calling the lead, but not the leads, but like the businesses and everything. Like, do you double call them, double dial them if they don't answer, or do you call them back maybe another day or later? What do you guys do for that?
Oh, yeah. I wish Rivera stuck around for that.
Yeah.
So I guess go ahead and ask your question, and then I'll let Righteous, because Righteous has done quite a few hooks and trials. So can you specifically ask your specific question, like, okay, when this happens, what do you do? And then from there, Righteous can kind of maybe fill you in on like what his process is.
Okay, so let's say as an example today, one of the guys I texted him, he answered the message, tried calling him, didn't answer. So from that point, since I'm supposed to be I mean, if it was a lead, I understand I would double call, but since I'm supposed to be some sort of client anyway, so how?
So Righteous, when you do you blast out a text to all the business owners whenever you're trying to hook, or do you
I'm
like?
checking from my phone, so I'm just doing individual, but yeah, I'll try to do as many as I can within
And then how are you making that decision of like who you're gonna hook? Like, so you send out like 20 texts. Do you wait for 4 to get back to you and then you hit them up? And like, how are you making that decision of who you reach out to? And then on top of that, what I think Wilgie's question is like, if they don't pick up, what do you do from there?
Yeah. So what I'm doing right now, like I said, I'm texting them from my phone. So I'll text blast, and I'll wait. I'll call the first person who texts me back. So the first person who texts me back, I'll call them. I'll do a double dial. If they don't answer, I'll either probably call them back later that day, depending on what time it is, or the next day. If they text me back, I'm gonna keep calling them, like
Okay.
probably, until they answer
Okay.
or text me back, tell me to stop.
Okay. So you blast out a text, business owner reaches out to you, you're gonna work them like a regular lead unless you already have somebody hooked. If you already have somebody hooked, you're like, fuck it, fuck that person. But you're being
Yeah,
so there you
yeah.
go. Well, there's your answer. Is like even though you're supposed to be a customer, you're gonna work them just like and I agree with that actually. And I think that when you talk about like culture and everything and like whatever, it's like, hey, their behavior's already telling me a bad thing. I think that's where this script comes in.
I'll add on one more thing. The guy that I hooked today was not somebody I text today. It was somebody I text a few days, maybe a few days back, maybe some like Saturday or something. Probably text him Saturday, and he texts me. Um, so yeah, you gotta keep if they reply to you and they say yes, you just want to keep following up until you get them on the phone. I would say yeah.
Interesting.
Okay.
The one
Uh,
that you had a conversation with today, do you feel like he was a good fit, or do you not feel like he was on a scale of like 1 to 10? What would you rank him?
10. He sounded like one of the dudes on Drew's calls. He said, "Yeah, I've been looking for somebody like you." So we had a pretty good conversation, and he was cool with the 500. And I told him, "Hey, I want to be forthcoming. I'm doing this trial with other business owners in Memphis. You were just one of the first ones to pick up, and he was cool with everything. So I
So
think he 10 out of 10.
good, good. Okay, so there you go, Woji. Does that answer your question, bro?
yeah, I actually have another one. While we were on the call, I just received a message from one of the guys that I talked to actually, because I did try three of them. I mean, I don't know if it's a city or if it's, I don't know if it's me not being like good enough with the script, but like those guys are not hungry. They're all saying like, oh yeah, we're busy, we don't need that for now, or stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, I'm offering. Okay, I'm like, okay, how about the free leads? They're like, oh yeah, well, if you want to offer the free leads, yeah, I'm taking them. I'm like, okay, well, as I said, well, okay, so if I offer you the free leads, I mean, we could hop on a call and maybe discuss later because we never know. You could make some money out of it, and then you could make more. They're like, yeah, I'm not sure. And then they're like, oh, I'm gonna call you back, or, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, fair enough. Got one of them come back to me because we did go through all the things until we got to the money and everything. So I told him the 2000, and then I told him 2500 actually because we're in Canada. Um, he came back to me telling me that because he initially told me that he'd had to go and speak with his partner on that. So he came back to me telling me that, he would be ready to do some sort of like 500 per project, but not the 2500 per month. So what do you guys do when you guys face that type of situation? Do you guys like try to come back with, let's say, another, like go do a back and forth, trying to like get him to
So
continue, or
I'll
what's
let righteous, I'll let righteous speak, but to me, it's very obvious what you should do. But go ahead, righteous.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like he may be too busy. It might not be the right fit. Like that's normal. Like in my opinion, I've talked to a couple people and they're like, I've got 3 jobs lined up tomorrow. So I'm just like, I mean, if you're too busy, I mean, it's just not going to be the right fit. I'll call the next, painting
Mm,
contractor. And most of them will just say, well, all right. And then I just keep going. But I don't go back and forth with them. If
okay.
they're talking like that, I'll just say, does it sound like it's the right fit? Because you want to find somebody that's hungry. So they're hungry. They want the leads, bro. They don't care how many jobs they got. So
I
yeah.
100% agree. It's like your success in this, in my opinion, assuming you have the ad dialed in, right? Like Righteous, for example, his ad works out in Memphis. He's good. He's chilling. He just has to find the right business owner. And so finding the right business owner is like finding the right girl, in my opinion. Like the girl that you find is going to predicate your relationship, your life, whatever. It's picking the right partner. So if you got 5 different business owners and 3 don't seem hungry, bro, if you got to combat them, if you have to combat them, they're not the right fit. If
Mm,
they are not like so, um, Righteous was talking about he had a guy like Drew. He's like, oh, I'm ready, da da da. Like Drew's calls. Riviera said, hey, like tell me da 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 da. He's like, you know, like that energy, that's the energy you need. If they don't have that energy, like it's just not worth it. If they're kind of like, yeah, I'll take the free leads, you're gonna waste your time. It's not worth it. They have to be hungry.
Perfect. Just wanted to make sure. Anyway, because I don't have the leads yet, I just started like doing the hook calls before, and then just acting as if I had them.
If your
But the
if
thing,
your if your gut is telling you like I don't think they have it, your job is to try to like press buttons to bait them to telling you the right thing. If you have to,
uh,
if they're not doing it, dude, they're not worth it. It's not worth it.
okay, cool, cool, cool. One more thing. How do you guys know whenever like when to change cities? Do you guys like keep calling every single one of them until you're like you went through the, let's say, whole Google list of like businesses in that city and until you switch somewhere else, or you're like, cannot worth it, let's go to somewhere else? Or do you guys only go with the ads? Because I didn't start running the ads at all. I just started doing the hook calls in cities that were around. But I think I might have to switch my strategy and try to do ads, find the leads first. Any
So, I mean, Righteous, you can kind of tell them what your process is. Actually, go ahead, yeah, and then I'll like dominate.
Yeah, so now that's what my process is now is running ads first just to see what the cost per lead is and if you are getting good leads, like they're picking up. Because I was doing that first, hooking business owners. But yeah, I would try definitely running the ad first just to see, you know, if you can even get the lead first. And if you get 3 qualified leads, then you know, all right, you can start hooking now. So
Yeah. So that's the process that I would recommend for like everybody. For you, what my suggestion is though is like I think you got to work on the script and sales right now.
Mm.
That's what your feedback is telling me. Like your feedback is like you're asking these questions that like to Righteous is like, oh, it's obvious. Like, you know, if that's not a good fit, you just keep moving on. But to you, it's not obvious yet. And the reason not obvious is because you haven't done enough reps. You don't have enough experience to see this. So my suggestion is that you stay the route of like still trying to hook first. So I don't know. It sounds like you've done 3 hook calls.
Yeah, I've sent about like what 20 texts,
Yeah.
3 calls, and then one of them came back to me with this. The 2 others were like very
I
iffy.
I've seen because when I Righteous first did this, Aman first did this, they especially Aman, I mean both of them have had this case, especially Aman actually, where he's hooking a business owner and it's not the right fit. They weren't hungry enough and he didn't know it. And it's not until I reviewed the sales call and I go over everything and I'm like, oh, here, Aman, the problem is not you, man. The problem is him. And yeah, your script could have been better. Yeah, you could have pressed him harder, but like, he just wasn't the right fit. So no matter how hard you try to, you know, press him, he's just not hungry enough. He's not the right person. So the thing is, it takes reps to experience that. It's like if the first 3 girls you date are like psychopaths, you don't know what a good girl is until you've hit the really good girl. Does that make sense? I know I keep giving examples with women, but
Yeah, it makes sense.
it's like so you need to experience what a good quality person is. So it's not that you need to, it's like I would suggest that you do more and then it'll probably be obvious like, oh, this person stands out so much more than these other people. Let me go ahead and now. So it's like step 1 is do that. Step 2 is now try to run ads in that location. And if you get good results, awesome, feed it over to that business owner. If you don't get good results, fine. Now do it another way in a different market. So
Okay.
I'll give you step by step. Step one, keep doing more hook calls. Step 2, when you have a good one, keep me posted. Like whatever you have, like these 3, like, hey, Koshik, here's what's happened. Here's how I'm feeling. Post inside this channel and just keep us posted and be like, hey, Koshik, I think I finally got one. Awesome. Step 3 is now you try to run ads and give it to this business owner and you try to close them. If you're running ads and it's just real expensive, okay, screw it. Go to another market like Righteous and Aman and just try to probe and see, okay, what's my cost per lead here? Is it good? If it's good, okay, go up, try to hook a business owner up there. If it's not a good cost per lead, go to another location, get a decent cost, and then hook a business owner there. So that's gonna be the first process.
All right, cool. Yeah.
What else you got for us, man?
I think that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna, try to go through the list and then see what's up. I'll try different cities here and there and see what's up.
Yeah. So yeah, again, don't worry about cities or anything yet. Just focus on getting as many hooks as you can in this location, and then we can. If you don't get a hook here by tomorrow, which you should, if you don't get a hook by like Tuesday, Wednesday at the latest, then maybe it makes sense for us to go on another location because you probably exhausted all the people in that location maybe by.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was a pretty small city.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
It's cool.
What else is burning your head? Anything else?
No, so far so good. I just keep going, keep rapping.
questions overall? How do you feel about everything overall?
Well, it's cool. Honestly, I definitely like the free to fee method. I definitely like the idea of, having the power of keeping the leads. I have the leads and then I feed them to the companies, so it makes them a little more like depending on me, and then I have more power in this relationship. So that's very cool. I like it. You just need to get the reps in, get the work in, and then till eventually I'll be able to leave because I'm still working on my part-time job. This is eating a lot of my time, which sucks. I only have like 4 days to actually work on contacting people because I always get home like what 10 p.m. the days I'm working. But outside of that, I'm trying to get the reps in. It's just a question of reps, I guess.
Just gotta figure it out and get the reps in, bro. That's it.
Yeah, but so far I really like it. Like I still love the program, still love the value, still getting more value than anywhere else I've been so far. So yeah.
Good, good. Cool. Anything else before I move on to Righteous?
No, I think that's it for me.
Okay, cool. Mr. Righteous. So what's going on, bro? Cost per
What's
lead?
going on? Yeah. So it's funny because now we're on the call. Things are starting to change. Things are looking better. Because at first I was like, I don't think I was gonna get any I didn't think I was gonna get any leads today. And I only got one lead yesterday, and this is in Columbus. But now that I'm doing the $70 budget, I've gotten three. So I'm like, hopefully at 70, it can spit out just like it's doing in Memphis. Memphis is 50 a day, and it'll spit out a bunch.
What was
Six,
your before? What were you spending before in Columbus?
like 35.
Okay. So what's your cost per lead in Columbus now, average?
Let me check because when I did the update on the KPIs, I didn't have any leads, but let me look at it right now. So $19.83.
Damn, bro, you're chilling.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, but it can change so fast. At first, I was nervous. I'm like, dude, but with my relationship with my client now, Theory, in Columbus, is a lot better than the one I had with Carlos. So he's responding to me. He was able to get he did an estimate yesterday, I believe. So he was go out and do a quote off of one of the leads that I was getting him. So seems to be pretty promising right now, and hopefully I can keep him on to get him over to the 2K.
How much did he close that one job for, the one that you initially got him? Do you know?
I don't know. And I might need to have some questions I can ask him to figure out what he if he when he does start closing, what he is making,
Well,
but
it's so important. Like the Excel sheet I give you guys, you need to have something like that for him. And the thing is, the free to fee method is very different than what we traditionally do. What we traditionally do is we close somebody, we onboard them, we give them an Excel sheet and all this crazy shit. So if I was you, you can afford to do it right now because you don't got like 30, 40 clients. You don't got like a bunch of clients where you can't keep everybody's. If I was you, I would have all the data. I would have an Excel sheet and I would do all the data. Like literally, like your KPIs, do the same thing. Like your 6 weeks, do the same thing for him. CPM, number of clicks, number of leads, number of conversations having, the revenues collected, everything. So you need to know, because if you don't know, you can't upsell, bro. Like you need to know how much money he's making. Um, on average, in case I think I went over this, I think you checked out, but people are willing to give you typically 30% of the profit that they generate from your services that they wouldn't otherwise. So if you can make this dude 100K profit, you'll make 30K of that. That's how humans work. So that's why you got to know how much money he's making.
okay,
It's super,
definitely.
super important.
I'll make sure I get that information as far as if he closes another one, because I know he said he's waiting on a lady to get back with him because he did get out one quote. So
Are you
if he
doing
does
like,
that,
go ahead, go
uh,
ahead. Go ahead, go ahead.
no, that was pretty much it.
Are you doing some like a regular cadence with him, like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of deal? Or you said your relationship is better with him. Like, what are you doing a cadence? And if so, what does the communication look like?
So on the sales call, I told him we're gonna do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Today, I mean, we just been texting back and forth, but I'll probably check in with him Wednesday once I get some more leads over to him. Because the last text he sent me, he said pretty much gave me that update as far as he was only able to do one. So I'll probably touch base with him Wednesday after I get some more leads over to him, just to kind of see how things are going from there, and then Friday again. So he knows I'll kind of check in with him Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I just didn't tell him if it'd be like a phone call or on a Zoom or anything like that.
Just a big thing for you is it's super like you notice when it comes to you, when it comes to Wilgie, when it comes to me, I'm always asking you guys questions. I'm trying to learn from you guys. Same thing applies. You got to be curious about your clients, bro. It's gonna help you out a lot. So you got to get the numbers, especially right now, while you can still get it, while you have the time. So anyways, man, anything else that you want to chop it up about, bro?
Yeah, so I mean, I see Amon doing, he's doing like some of the like, percent off offers. I did come across like a creative from a company. What do they call Home Perspective Company? I mean, Home Perspective Custom Painting and Stay. But I found them in like Facebook ad library, and I was just gonna pretty much jack their stuff because they have a video on the side and then the two photos up and down, the before and after. But the only difference with their video is it's just like the after finish. It's not like somebody, actually doing the painting. Um, Let me see. And I had another creative that I can kind of show you. I was gonna test out. Here, I'll pull it up really fast.
So what are you planning on testing this? What market are you going to test this in? Like these new ads that you're thinking about testing?
I was gonna do both. I was just trying to model Drew the best way I can, but I probably have to switch it up, not in like the cost quiz. Because right now it's still doing the cost quiz, so I'll probably have to change that angle of it. But it's like,
Yeah. I mean, I kind of feel like, you know, I think if I were you, because you already got something that's working, man. And from my conversation with Alma, and hopefully you kind of see, it's like you guys got this cost quiz thing. It's getting you good results. I don't think you guys need to necessarily be testing out a bunch of like creatives if you don't. I mean, it's up to you. Um, like the 10%, 50%, it's like I would say, Amon's already committed to testing it. So maybe just kind of keep a close ear to like what Amon's doing. And
okay,
then yeah, that's what I would do, honestly, if I were you, because he's kind of committed to it. Just like kind of keep a close tabs on him, like what's going on, see if you can help him in any ways. And then yeah, consider yeah, that's I think you guys already got something that works. Honestly, I think you got something that works. And for you, if you get a few places like Memphis, like that's all you need. Like you just need like, bro, need like 10 clients. That's it. 10 clients, 10 good locations. You're chilling
got you.
instead of spending all this time trying to do new creatives and stuff like that. That's just where my mind is right now.
Okay, yeah.
It's working, right? It worked in Memphis. Now you're at $20 per lead here. It's working. It's proven. Aman said it's worked for him. It's proven.
I feel like it's like it's even getting better, honestly, because like literally, like I told, I had to shut it off. Like the Memphis one was bringing in a bunch of leads. This was like right after I had closed the deal in Columbus. And I'm like, okay, so I got to start running ads out there so that I can get him leads. But I was still running ads in Memphis, and Memphis was going crazy. So I was like, I had to shut this off, nurture those leads, and then I start running ads out in Columbus to get leads at him. But now my plan this week is to close like at least 2 to 3 business owners back out in Memphis, since that's like going crazy right now. I really need somebody to service these leads. Like it's serious.
It's a good problem to have. Good, good. Yeah, man, that's it. Just like focus on, if I was you, yeah, focus on Memphis this week. Kind of keep a close ear on like what Amon's doing. That's it, bro. Keep it simple.
That's what I'll do. Keep it simple. Um, so I'll be honest with you. I lost my job today. I know that's not funny, but it's just how, life works. But, I do have a plan as far as like, I can file unemployment. I know that'll help me out for a couple weeks, and then I got some resources coming in. But I mean, as far as I see it, I got more times on my hand to close some deals. So, um,
What
so
happened? Asking, or do you not want to get into it? If you don't
no,
want to
I'll
get,
get it. Yeah, it doesn't matter to me. Like, performance thing. Like, I just wasn't selling enough cars. Went on a 3-month average of not selling over 10, so they let me go. So I was just like, all right.
how long were you there? You were there for like a few years, right?
I was there, yeah, like a year and a half, almost 2.
What were you doing before? Were you selling cars before or no?
Yeah, I was selling cars before. I really started selling cars in like 2017, 18. I just kind of been on and off from there, but I, been doing other ventures as well. But my main thing was always like full-time selling cars.
Okay. So you were selling cars in like a location, you got into another location, which is the one that you were at. You were there for about a year and a half, and then recently this happened. Okay. Because you were at one time you said you were doing like really good revenue. Was that at this location or a different location?
Same one, yep, same store.
Same store, but like their management changed or something?
Yeah, a little bit management change, a whole bunch of stuff changing, process changing, just it's a high turnover store, so it's a lot of stuff going on here. New ownership, the owner passed it down to his son because he's retired and he's getting older, so just a lot of stuff going on. Business though. No, I mean, just change.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anything, I mean, I guess like what made you want to tell me that?
Kind of felt like just keep you updated what's going on in my life. Yeah, because I am working. I had a full-time 9 to 5, and just let you know, hey, now I'm gonna do this to the neck as much as I can. I don't feel like I would have to go back to a job, honestly, just because of how this is working out. Because, like, I mean, based off what I was selling the last 3 months, I really wasn't averaging that much anyway. Like, if I look at it, I'm like, dude, I could have worked at McDonald's and probably I could go work part-time and cover what I was making under 10 cars, like, so. But I'm like, I can do this. I can give this a good go. And I know within the next 2, 3 weeks, I could probably have 5 clients. Like if I give it 110% like I can now, because when I'm full time at my job, I can't hit the leads like I want to. Like if, somebody texts me back, I kind of, gotta sneak away or, it's a lot going on there. So, but now I've got more time on my hands than ever. So, but I just felt like I share that with you so you know what's going on in my world.
Well, it's good that you shared that with me for sure. That's a very fucking important thing for sure. So,
Yeah.
it's kind of bittersweet, it's sweet in the sense that like I seen you put in the work, so I know that you're gonna put in extra work. Like I've seen it, I've seen what you can do with that job. And so if you can do that with that job, 2 closes in 2 weeks, bro, like the sky's the limit with, again, get more reps and now the ads are performing for you consistently. Um, so yeah, it's just yeah. Um did this contribute to the job loss or no? Do you feel like this contributed to job loss?
Nope. Because I was already going downhill. Like I literally like the reason why I launched ads was because I knew that the car business was probably not gonna last long. It's because
What happened between then and now though? Like that's what I'm trying to understand. You said at one point you were doing really well versus now. Is it because they're not giving you leads? Like what was happening that resulted in that? Or like is it that
yeah,
what was the difference?
I for sure my lead flow was cut down to like a bare minimum. But I just started losing a lot of interest in the dealership and just really looking at how much time I would have to how much time I'm putting in there and how much I'm making there. It's just like it just doesn't motivate me to it's hard to stay motivated when you're not making money and you see that you don't really have a support system there to help you even, get to where you need to be. So it's just like, I got more support. I'm getting more leads here doing this. Like I'm seeing more success here, than at my job. So it was just like, you know, It's a little bit scary because like that's all I've ever done for a long time was sell cars. Like I did make money off shooting videos here and there. There was a time where I left and was full time shooting videos for 2 years, but you know, it didn't go too well. So I went back to selling cars. But now it's like knowing what I know now, it's like I you know, don't want to be too cocky, but like I'm confident I know I can make more than what I was making at a dealership for sure. Because it's like $100,000 is not a lot of money, you know, like, and that's what people get in the car business for. It's like, you know, make 6 figures. But it's like, dude, you're fucking taxed on that shit. And it's like 100K might all that might be all you might ever make there. Like it's not worth it when you look at the amount of hours you put in and you're not able to delegate and hire other people just because of the pay structure. You know, you can't even bring somebody in to do the smaller tasks for you. You know, it's like you're kind of doing everything just to make 100K. You know, it's like, hell no, it's not worth it for me.
How for the 100K, when you were at the 100K amount, like how much would you take home, and then how many hours were you putting in per week on average? Would you guess?
Yeah, that's what used to really make me mad because like I would bring home after tax like 5,600 and I'd work 40 plus hours a week, you know, like working every day except for Sunday pretty much.
So 5,600 divided by 160 hours is $35 an hour, basically. That's what it breaks down to.
Yeah. I
Right.
still feel like, yeah.
$5,600 a month divided by 160 hours a month. That's about $35 a month or $35 an hour.
35, yeah.
Okay. Cool. How long ago was this when you were hitting those kinds of numbers?
It would have been back. Shoot, that's a good question. I would say, let's see, it's March. November.
November of 24?
Yeah, November. It might have been before that. I'd say probably October. It was like a real like a 5 month drought where I was just it was just bad. And it was pretty bad, yeah.
So October 24 is when you were hitting those kinds of numbers, those good numbers, right?
Well, I say that's when it probably like stopped. But
How long
after
how long did you hit, like how long did you have a streak of hitting those kinds of numbers, like
okay.
6 months, a year, 2 years?
So from I say June of 23 to because let's see, we can take from 23, take it up to June of 23 till I say it stopped in about November of 24.
So June, July, August, September, October, November. So June, July, August, September, October, November. So 12 plus 5, 12 plus 5, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, about 17 months of that. So almost 2 years, about a year and a half.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was crazy. I went on a pretty good run until everything started changing. So I was just like, yo, I'm gonna have to do all this.
Yeah. I mean, so 5,600 take home. Yeah, 5,600 take home. Yeah, I mean, man, 5,600
Is that
take home.
bad? Is that
Huh?
bad that way or
Huh?
I felt like is that like a bad mindset to have to think that way, like $35 now? Because like I just feel like that's like if they taking that much, hell no. Like that's a lot. For you to if you're gonna make 10,000 and you only see like 5 or 56 or 6 grand, that's like
When you say is that a bad mindset, what do you mean?
yeah. So like should I not be thinking like that? Like as far as like that's not a bad thing that I was really doing as far as making 35 an hour. Like that was actually okay. I just probably had a terrible mindset per se.
What do you mean, like a terrible mindset? Like, oh, I should be making more, or for all that I'm doing, I need to be making more. Like, what do you mean by that in terms of your mindset?
As far as what I was doing, like the like hours I was putting in and how much I was making, like that's not necessarily like a negative thing. Like that was actually okay to make those numbers. Like to be thinking the way I'm thinking, I don't know if I'm saying that the right way.
So I'm gonna make a video on financial stuff, like the stuff me and Cam were talking about, like retiring and stuff like that. I'm gonna probably post that here in like a few days or week. And I would say that entrepreneurship is very simple, is that I mean there's two ways you can look at it. But one of the key ways I look at it is what is your dollars per hour earned? So for me, if somebody comes to me and they say, yo, Krishik, I got $20,000 for you for a project. In my mind, I don't care about the 20,000. In my mind, I care about 20,000, how many hours is it going to cost me? How much time and energy is it going to cost me? And so if let's say my dollars per hour is here, if it's going to decrease my dollars per hour to here, I'm not going to take it. I don't care if it's 20 grand, I don't care if it's 50 grand. All I care about is constantly increasing my dollars per hour. So if I can take something and it's like only pays $1,000 compared to something else that pays 20,000, if that $1,000 is going to take me an hour of my time, I'm going to do it because it's going to increase my dollars per hour. That's how I make decisions. So for you, you're making $35 per hour. So for me, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go from 35 to 45 to 55, whatever. So for you, what I do with Amma and all you guys is like I get you guys to record how much money you make, but then also how many hours are you putting in? Because your dollars per hour should be going up every month. You should make better and better strategic decisions. That's how you hire and fire and the moves you make. It's increase your dollars per hour. Life, we only got 24 hours in a day. We got to figure out how to maximize those 24 hours in terms of dollars per hour. Not working the most. Like I'll tell you, like this business, I put 2 hours a day into it. That's it. I don't work more than 2 hours a day. I refuse to. So I don't know if that answers your question at all. Does that answer your question or not at all?
No, that helps. That makes a lot more sense because the way you have a unique way of thinking. So like that it opened my mind instead of thinking of about like the hourly rate, think more of how can I increase, how the amount I'm getting pretty much.
Yeah.
Or
So
how
it's-
much time invested pretty much. Like okay, it's time the energy. How much energy is it gonna cost me? That aspect makes a lot more sense. And that's probably why I was
it's
feeling that way.
you
Because
weren't
energy I was putting in.
you making $35 an hour. If what you're saying is true, what you're probably doing is making like $20 an hour because you probably weren't putting in 120 hours or 160 hours. You're probably putting like 200 hours probably. That's the way you're making it sound. You're saying like, yo, I was putting in regular hours, but then on top of that, extra paperwork and this and that, and all this bullshit I had to do. That's what that's what I'm hearing. I don't know if that's true or not. If that's true, then I would take $5,600 a week, divide that by $200 an hour, and I was like, I'm making $28 an hour. That's a very big difference. $28 versus $35 is a very big difference. So, like for me, I mean, I'm not bullshitting when I say this to you. I stopwatch my time, and that's how many hours I've worked before our coaching call, and then I'm going to add it to our coaching call, which is 3 hours and 31 minutes so far. So I literally time myself every day, every time I'm working with you guys, every time I work on this business. And that's how I kind of figure that out. So, yeah, you increase your dollars per hour. That's it. That's all there is to it. Now that's aspect one. That's the short term. That's the day to day. The day to day, the week to week, the month to month is how do I increase my dollars per hour? Now, the long term is the stuff I put in the value drops channel of like investing. Like you got to have at least $1 million cash. So think about it like this. Like, okay, yeah, it's like I need $1 million cash. So how do I make that $1 million cash? Because I need $1 million cash to pay 10% passive income to cover my lifestyle. Like those are two different ways to think about it. And I'll be honest with you, even though I went over like the dollars per hour thing, that's one way to look at it. But another way you can look at it is, okay, I need to save 100 grand by the end of 2026. How the fuck do I do that? It's a completely different mindset. So that if you say, hey, look, I got to make $100,000 saved by the end of 2026, it don't matter if you got to work 14-hour days. It don't matter if you got to work 12-hour days. It don't matter. You got to make the 100K. And so that's a different mode. It's a different way to kind of view. It's kind of like you have like sports mode and casual mode. There's different modes you can drive. So I feel like for people like you, for most people that are, at this place in the entrepreneurship journey, you got to be on sports mode, which is, hey, I got to commit to saving that 100 grand because I got to invest it. So it's not even about the dollars per hour, even though I kind of went over that. Dollars per hour really matters as you progress. But the stage you're at, it's like, I got to do whatever I got to do to make this amount of money because I got to save that money and I got to invest it.
You say increase dollar per hour, right?
Yeah.
Increase dollar per hour.
So if you think about what Drew is doing, right? So Drew, for example, got to a place where he got to like, I don't know, like 17K a month, right? He got to 17K per month, okay? And let's just say theoretically, and this will make sense to you. 17K per month, he's doing all the hook calls, he's doing everything. Let's just say theoretically this is $100 per hour. Okay? Then what he did is he brought on a setter, or he brought on one person to handle the business, and that person took the business to like 30K per month. Now, obviously 17 to 30 is not equal, but after his hiring and everything, let's say he's pocketing, I don't know, like 27K. So he goes from 17K a month to bring somebody else, gets the business to 30K. After his expenses, he's 27K. So now let's say his dollars per hour is $150 per hour. Boom. You see what we're doing here? He made one strategic hire, which increases dollars per hour from $100 an hour to $150 an hour. He brings on another hire. This person's $45 an hour, or 45, he gets him to 45K. Let's say he takes home 40K. Let's say his dollars per hour now is like 165. So we went from $100 per hour to $150 per hour. And then with his second hire, let's say it gets $165 per hour. I know my math is like kind of all over the place, but the idea is as long as you're increasing your dollars per hour, that's the right move. If on the other hand, you went from $150 an hour to like a $95 an hour, it's like, nah, that wasn't the right move.
You can just backtrack from there and make sure you don't make that mistake. I got you.
So like you're increasing your total revenue, but you're decreasing your dollar per hour. This is entrepreneurship, not good. This is not good. However, this is if you operate by the guise of dollars per hour. But if you're doing what I'm talking about, which is like investing, then this is better than this, and then this is better than this. Why? Because you're making more money and it doesn't matter. You're doing whatever is necessary to invest the 100K. I don't know if that's making sense.
It's
So-
making sense. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think most people should not. I think that, I think that most people should be operating from a place of, hey, I got to save that 100K to invest it. And so if you got to save the 100K, it don't matter what your fucking dollars per hour is. If you can work 24 hours, you work 24 hours. You got to save the 100K. So it's a healthy balance, man. You got to juggle the both. In my mind, I'm always thinking, how do I increase my dollars per hour? But then I also understand there are some seasons where I just got to make money at all costs. Does that help a little bit, bro?
No, that helps tremendously for sure. Cause I was a little worried there, but nah, that helps.
Okay, cool. What else do you want to go over, bro?
Oh, hold on. I think this might be a Mason question. Let me check. 'Cause my go high level was, I don't know if it's froze or what's going on, but it won't let me switch in between my sub account. It just sits on the same screen. I logged out. I didn't try to pull it up on a different browser, cleared my cookies and everything. I can't
Gotcha.
even pull up now. I think it's stuck on this loading page, a spinning wheel.
Create a really quick Bloom video and then send that over to us. And then if Mason's got something, he'll send it to you. If not, it might be a question for their customer chat support.
Okay, that was that chat team is good too. I hit them up anytime I'm really stuck. They got my phone number for my other agency approved. So I was like, yeah, that was sweet.
Those guys are good. Yeah, cool.
But yeah, I think that's everything that I had on the top of my mind. But I like that though. Sports mode. That's where I need to be because I'm full time now.
Yeah, I'll explain this later, but it's like you gotta make 100K and you got to have that invested by the end of 2026, unless there's an opportunity here in a month. For those that are interested, I'm going to make the video for them that want to invest now. Some people will, but they got until April 30th. If you don't invest by April 30th, then you got to wait till the end of 2026. So if you're going to be someone that's going to wait till the end of 2026, you just got to save 100K. That's it. That should be all you focus on. If I was you, that should be it. Like nothing else matters in life other than that.
Now, when you say save 100K, right, and you're going to invest this into like crypto, you're putting that whole 100. So to save 100,000 to put all that 100K in there, should you have like a little bit extra?
Question. So
Like,
there's a million ways you can do it. So one way you can do it is you can save 100K cash and then you get 100K worth of 0% APR credit cards. And then you put the money from the 0% APR credit cards in there, and then you have your cash as a backup in case something happens. Or you do the credit cards and file for bankruptcy in the worst case. Like again, there's a million ways that you have it. My thing is save the 100K no matter what, and then you can kind of figure out how risky you want to be, but save the 100K.
so I like that. So you're saying save the 100K and then you could just get a credit card with that limit and then just go boom. Oh, okay. Okay. That's smart.
That's what I did. And there's another way you can do it. You can literally build a business, like an e-commerce business. You can spend money on that. So let's say you do $1 million in revenue. You can do $1 million in expenses too. So like you have a really shitty business. On paper, it sounds good. You do $1 million in revenue. You do $1 million in advertising. So you're basically like no profit. But if you go to the bank with that, the bank will give you like 300,000 as a business line credit. That's one of the things I did.
So when you do that, do you have to spend $1 million in ads or do you just tell them that you're
So
spending?
So a bank will, if they see that you've done $1 million in revenue, they don't care about
Okay.
your profit. They don't give a shit about anything. All they care about is revenue. So if you can prove to a bank, hey, I did $1 million in revenue, and they see $0 in your bank, they don't give a fuck. They'll still give you the 300,000. So you got $300,000 of the bank's money. You invest the 300,000, you got 100,000 of your own money, make minimum payments on that. You're chilling.
Gotcha.
All you need to do is save the 100K. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, I got you though. That makes tons of sense though. Because I was thinking
Ris-
that like,
Risky would be if you make 100K and then you put all 100K and you're starting from zero. That would be very risky. I wouldn't recommend that.
right. I knew it wasn't gonna be just that, but I just wanted to make sure clarify it, get your input on it for sure.
Yeah. If you can save that 100K, if you invest in the cryptocurrency, bare minimum, you should have like worst case 200,000, if not fucking 500,000. Worst case scenario. If you got 500,000, you invest in real estate, you invest in all these different things, you're gonna be a multimillionaire another 4 years. Like if you whatever you make in the next market, like I always say it takes 2 cycles. In the first cycle, you can become a millionaire. In the second cycle, you can become a multimillionaire. In other words, if you can take 100,000, literally 100,000, you can turn that into like almost a million, okay? Maybe a million. Honestly, if you play your cards right. You save 100 grand, turn that to a million. If you play your cards correctly, you don't gotta do nothing. You don't gotta do jack shit, and that $1 million will turn to $4 million 4 years later. It goes so fast, but you gotta get that first 100,000.
Yeah, that's now I see what you're saying for sure. And I was watching Mark Boss, one of his videos, and he was talking about how big Bitcoin is gonna be. He was talking about like he was like trillions. He was like it's gonna be trillions. Like if you get in, like in other words, he was saying like you can get in within like the next year. So pretty much what you're saying, but it's gonna be much bigger. And then he was talking about like the banks and everything are gonna be following suit with it. So they're going it's gonna be a good good time to be alive for sure.
Just gotta save the 100K, bro. That's it. That's the trick to wealth. Save 100K. Most people just can't do that. And
Yeah.
Bitcoin, Ethereum, all those, that's small detail. And I can kind of guide you and kind of give you my 2 cents on that. But just save the 100K. But yeah, I guess like hey, Mason, you got a quick few minutes for a tech question? Cool. You want to share your screen and share what you got, Riches?
Yep. We'll do it right now. So this is what my Go High level is doing right now.
What's the issue? What's going on?
I can't get into like my sub accounts. Well, right now it's not even loading. At first it was pulling everything up.
Should update your Chrome.
Oh, that's all I gotta do?
Yep. I'm pretty sure. Because that happened to me one time.
So just hit relaunch the update or something.
Yeah. It's gonna open all your tabs up again.
Oh shoot, I shouldn't have did that.
No. It should open them back up. You're good.
I wasn't sure if it was gonna kick me out of Zoom or anything like that.
Oh, I see
All
what you're
right, well. Nope. Okay, let's see. We're getting somewhere. But oh nope. Think you fixed it, Mason.
All right. That's why I get paid the big
That's
bucks right
one.
there.
Yeah, hold on. We might have spoke too soon. Cause I was trying to get into my the painting one, but I can't get into that. Unless I'm being impatient.
Let's see. Painting. You're trying to get into this one?
Yeah, this one here.
Okay. Click it, nothing happens.
Yeah, it just sits on this screen. Sometimes it'll reload, but it'll still
Go
be in
back
the
here really quick. I just want to see something. Go to switch to agency view. And then hit Painting Pro.
Is this another way to do it? Oh.
Interesting. Go to sub accounts. And hit switch to sub account here. Agency dashboard. Go to here. This is the only login that you have?
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. Go back to sub accounts really quick. Go to manage client. That's interesting.
And it just happened today, I would say around what time was I calling? 3 o'clock. This just happened. So this just happened today. But I was like, I thought it was my browser for a second.
You wouldn't happen to have the location ID, would you?
Is that how did I get that last time? I think I had to.
Yeah.
Can I go if it pulls up? This
This is so that yeah, I don't think you're gonna be able to get it because
I'm not in the, I can't get in the agency. Oh wait. I might be able to.
right, but that's each sub account has a different location ID.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. I'll say if anything, worse come I can use it works on my iPad. Oh wait, oh no.
Have you ever been into live support with them?
Yes, that's what I was gonna do next. Is just see if they can fix it.
Well, I'm just wondering if you've done that, you might have the location ID underneath here. But if you haven't gone into, like, for example, the only way that you'd get access to it is by using this account's live chat because this is the only one that you can connect to. And this location ID is going to be different from the other one. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yep, I see what you're saying.
So that's going to be the issue for you. Shoot. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I would just give it time. If that doesn't work, clear your cache and cookies and then refresh and try it again.
Okay.
And if that doesn't work, let me know. Or if you need help doing that, we can do that too.
We'll do. I'll clear caches and all that and just give it some time because this is the first
Have
time
all
I've
your
seen.
passwords. Just make sure you have like your passwords and stuff written down.
Will do, yeah, because I don't want to get kicked. I'm pretty sure I do got all of them written down.
Try opening, just out of curiosity, just close out of this tab and try opening a new Go High Level tab. Here, go back. Actually, second, go back to close out Chrome. Open it back up really quick. Click on Painting Pro. Nothing even. Nothing even opens there. Okay. Go high level.
You're actually my password in, aren't you?
Mhm. You can allow if you want to do that.
I don't know my password.
Come on.
It does the auto sign in on the other one.
Oh man. Do you usually continue with Google?
Yeah, but I think this one is gonna be. Hold on, let me see. It might work.
Okay.
Shoot. Do I have this written down? I should have wrote this one down, man. Mason gonna punch me in the chin for this.
Hmm? So when I
Uh,
uppercuts fly when the passwords aren't written down. I actually just I hired an appointment setter today, and I told her I was going to do that. I was like, "Hey, I could reset your password, but before I let you know that I can do that, I will punch you in the face if you forget it." She's right.
no, I don't even. So I think when I signed in to go high level, I just used my Gmail and it signed me. I don't even think I made the password. I don't
Okay.
even,
I just want to see out of curiosity, what is this error about? You just
probably because I'm not signed in. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why my Google is it's not the smartest. I'm always signed in, but it tells me to sign in. So, oh wait, can I just do that?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Oh, but it's gonna take me back to. Oh
Just
no,
try to go high level over here. Yeah.
watch it work.
Watch it work. Watch it work. Watch it work. Watch it work. Watch it work. Nope.
Come on. Damn.
That's so weird. I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I mean, there's no way it would have gotten deleted.
No, I mean, cause like I'm still getting leads.
What's oh, interesting.
You
So
said
all
what's what?
this information is exactly the same.
What information is?
Just-
Oh no, was it? I feel like no, that wasn't like that before. Hold on, let me see.
You see what I'm saying? That's
Yeah, the
weird.
address. Yeah, they were different.
Click on
Maybe.
this really
Oh,
quick.
I think it might have changed because I was trying to register a phone number for the painting one, and I don't know if I have to use the same address that's on my registration, like for my LLC as the BMA. So I did probably type that address in there not too long ago.
Interesting.
Hmm. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've never had that issue, but I've also had never two accounts with the same address. I wonder if they don't allow that or something. I wonder because the Go High Level is fucking smart like that, man. If you put in the address of two locations, it'll be like, oh, that's not possible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like when I originally created the sub account, I didn't have the same address, but I did switch it over when I was trying to register a phone number in there because I was scared it was going to say that address doesn't match as what's on your LLC.
Yeah. Go to tech support. And then it's gonna ask you say sub account. To scroll up location settings. Scroll back down. You missed it. Right here.
The other,
Yeah. Yeah. It's either that you're gonna have to go down this route or you're gonna have to say that the issue is in the not in a sub account. Say I'm trying to log into one of my sub accounts, it's not letting me, I guess.
How many beers or how much liquor would you drink daily?
Probably a case to 35 beers easily in a day.
35 or 40?
Easily in a day.
Do you feel at the end of 35 or 40 beers?
Still start drinking some whiskey or something.
I don't know. Is it really?
Yeah.
How much do you like realistically believe if you were able to drink, you know, when you were playing, you play better?
It's amazing. Wherever I set course records or whatever, I would be barefooted drunk.
No.
I used to be able to shoot pool really good when I had a great buzz going.
Could that also be because you're drunk and just think you're playing better than you actually are?
Well, no, you're winning money from people playing pool. You know you're playing better.
How many beers or
Rashik, your thing's on. I don't know if you want us to know about
No, I
some
was
35 years or whatever.
no, I know. I'm gonna let you guys go though, man. If you guys are on here for a hot minute,
Hit NA. Yeah, you're good.
I'm gonna be here for a hot minute.
Well, we're gonna I mean, this is as far as pretty much I can get him.
Okay.
That's as far as you're probably gonna be able to go until someone responds to you.
Yeah, that's cool though, for sure. I've talked to these guys before. They're definitely helpful. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I've never seen the issue, but I would imagine it has something to do with you having two locations exactly the dang same. Other than that, I would have no idea.
Cool. All right then. I will see you ugly hooligans next week.
All right, bro.